ROTHSCHILD.com/coach now. Purchase your silver starter kit. Take that first step to building that emergency reserve of gold and silver. TRILLIONAIRE.com/coach.
And on
real people, real things. I had acute eczema. I tried every cream and ointment that you can imagine to treat it. So I started taking Avora, and at this point, I don't want to ever be without it.
I developed this lymph problem. The chemotherapy lasted for 6 months. We started developing more lymph nodes that were swelled up. So I just tried carnivore. The lymph nodes started to go down, swelling did. Then I took them into the vet to have them checked out, and there was no signs at all inside. My dad had issues that developed into ice, so my veterinarian said, you know what, just go ahead and remove the ice. I heard the carnivore advertising, so I said, you know what, I'm going to order this product. They did all the tests, and I kid you not, this product tastes good.
IDORB.com.
Hey, goes out to now I'm giving you like $1 million shares of life in a fucking triple bad cash right now. And I have
welcome back to Coach, George Story with you along with Ben Davidson. Ben, when will all the scientists jump on board some of the things you said tonight instead saying, you know what, this is really happening?
At a large scale, that's a very good question. At a smaller scale, I have noticed a shift already, but it's very slow going. It seems to be happening almost one by one rather than something hits the airwaves and everybody jumps on board with it. It seems to be a slow, progressive opening to what's happening and the reasons for why things are happening. I'm not sure exactly what it would take. I'm sure if there was a major solar storm tomorrow that took out power to a large portion of the world, that people would wake up. But I also wonder if maybe there won't be that greater awakening until it's too late and there's not much we can actually do about it.
And what is too late? What is this have to get to?
Is that still a thing?
When it comes to a point where despite our scientific and technological prowess as a species, we're not able to adequately prepare everyone for what's coming, both in terms of filming them and actually getting some kind of physical, psychological preparations that can actually help them deal with what's coming. That could be everything from a solar storm actually taking out the power, as you were describing earlier, or it could be something like the magnetic field changing to the point where there's so much radiation coming in that we as a species just lose ourselves entirely.
How long do you think some people can go then today without their cell phone?
There are some people who seem like they can't go 10 minutes without their cell phone. I think that if that technology was lost, within about a day or two, people would really start to find themselves in a precarious position.
They'd be lost, wouldn't
They truly would be.
You should be like, oh, God, that is so cool. And I really liked everything that you had to talk about. Ghost station things.
Nothing.
From Nova Scotia?
No social
Yeah.
networking for people.
It was presented pretty significant challenge to the way people have become accustomed to living their lives.
You remember, Joey?
Let's go to the phone. Joe, Long Island, New York, gets us started. Hey, Joe.
No.
Go ahead.
Hi, Ben.
Remember
And I'd like 2 questions and then maybe like a comment. My first question would be a lot of your, not a lot, but there's people among your colleagues that some of the other objects in the solar system do qualify as planets
already
and should be named as planets. Then, on what basis do they really make that claim? My second question would be about, that controversy people
I'll be like that with the
I don't know how far down it goes to the ocean that's in the Mariana Trench. I think it's just too far down. See what's there before we put more of it.
It'll knock on my door. It's just like a big piece of fish. I don't know. I'm gonna see gas, man. He's like, no, put the gas, man. He's like, no, but this has you written all over it when the week before you did knock on my door because I had ramen noodles in the sink.
I can get them out.
Hey, buddy boy. Come on, here, dog.
I will always call Pluto a planet. Pluto is a planet. So anybody understands. So the way they define planets are they're having a certain size to them, be big enough that over time they have sort of collapsed into a sphere. How well they have cleared their orbit over time. And because there are several things out near Pluto, they say it hasn't really cleared its orbit because of how small it is and other things like that. I think that anything that is big enough to, have that pretty well-defined orbit where it's affecting more things around it gravitationally than things are affecting it, it should be called a planet. And first and foremost, that certainly applies to Pluto. There's also a large object in the asteroid belt called Ceres, and I think that should probably be called a planet as well. In terms of the depth of the ocean, absolutely. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the bottom of the ocean. There is an unbelievable, untapped resource of information about our planet, the history of the planet, and potentially the life on this planet as well that we just don't know about. I would agree wholeheartedly that we should be full understanding the world we live before we, go full throttle in trying to outdo those efforts of understanding when it comes to other worlds that we do not live on and probably won't. In terms of the deception of omission in the media,
It was 42.
This is one of the reasons why the world is not as aware as it should be. They don't necessarily have to come out and try to say something isn't real or something isn't concerning. They just have to not talk about it at all and throw other things before our eyes. People get distracted, they're misinformed, they're uninformed. Perhaps even a good way of describing it. And it not only goes for, what people traditionally think of as the media and the news, but it is in terms of censorship of things on social media as well, and things on the internet. It is really the lack of reporting or the removal of information that is just as damaging as them giving us bad facts. And I think I agree with pretty much everything that the caller said there.
All right, let's go to Brian, the state of Washington, on the wild card. Brian's ready. Brian, go ahead, sir.
Hi, George. Hi, Ben.
Yeah.
This is what I got. I was wondering what you thought, Ben. I know you wrote a lot of things on pole shifts, and we could tie this into, history of our Mother Earth to, biblical times. And I tried to do research on, say, Moses, the 17th day, the second month, the Great Deep Birth. So whatever year BC that could have been, but the research I could never try to figure out was, say, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, where a lot of people say it was this until a lot of people talk about erosion, or could have this all happened over
happen in one flash, and then I'll compare that to, say, the Grand Canyon, where some scientists say, well, this took over millions of years to erode, or it happened in one flash. And I just was wondering your thoughts, because maybe this tying into the Bible, this great burst of water, how they tie it in the Bible, the great flood. And I was wondering your thoughts on that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I think that both things have truth to them. Certainly, the wind, the water, if you go on the ships of time, take away at great things. But as I mentioned earlier, these long, slow, often peaceful periods are punctuated by great catastrophes. And the fact that they have that evidence of what I mentioned before, the slow geologic and weather processes, are used to essentially explain away everything. When you say millions of years, hundreds of millions of years for this, for that, it basically allows them to explain everything and anything, when in reality, there are much better explanations for some of the more severe aspects, some of the more prominent aspects of both natural features and ancient megaliths that are, especially now that we know more about how cataclysmic some of these past events were, they're just more easily explained by both major events, like what you were describing was the great bursts of water, the water that's from below coming forth, as they are by just saying, oh, hundreds of millions of years of this or that. It's one of those deceptions by omission or deceptions by misinformation, as we were talking about just a minute before your mouth done. So I would say that where the caller appears to have been going with that is something I would agree with. There's a lot of evidence that whether you're looking at it from a purely scientific standpoint in examining the geologic evidence of these past disasters, or you're looking at the stories from the Bible and you're taking a very spiritual aspect, I'll come back to the idea that these are not one or the other anymore. They are played together and realizing that they're telling the same story but from a different perspective.
So next, the first time caller, Patrick, the island of Hawaii. Hello, Patrick. Go ahead. Aloha, George. Aloha, Ben. Hi. First time caller, long time listener. I've got a couple questions. Sure. I've been solar weather aware since the 1970s and following all the solar cycles since then, before we had satellite data. And I noticed a couple of anomalies, specifically one with this current solar cycle 45, and the lack of coronal holes on the northern and southern hemisphere. I was wondering if Ben could address that. Secondly, when we have an active region that's turning towards Earth and freezing very cold, when it reaches Earth, it kind of theorizes so there's half station Earth. I was hoping that Ben could also address that as well. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Ben. See what you can do.
Sure. So the lack of coronal holes. This one is, we went through the solar system and talked about the changing of the planet.
Be given a bunch of fucking medical advice, you just gave a shitload of
object that is changing the most is just we are noticing a change in the helium chemistry, and we are noticing a change in the magnetic field of the sun. Just like Earth's magnetic field is changing, a lot of the other planets' changes indicate that their magnetic fields are changing. We can go to measure the sun's magnetic field, and we know that they are changing as well. And one of the prominent features of coronal holes is instead of the magnetic field
that, like, I would get it off, but everyone else is like,
to the sun, they're actually what they call
I'm bored. My day at work was boring. Hi everyone. I'm sorry, my mic's not working. Sorry, my mic wasn't on. Hey everybody. Yeah, no, don't ask me about my personal life. Huh?
Right
It's
about
like,
the time that they're starting
what do you want to talk about? Oh, I don't want to talk about anything particular. No, I know that the name of the room is called
what this caller first identified was
what
we left out
I want to just
earlier
talk
when we were
about
talking about the planet. So when I say we, that would be me. I
emeralds
left that out earlier, my bad.
Africa
The
and
sun
Earth
is
is
changing
mine.
just as much,
Oh,
or
he said
perhaps
that is
more than
completely
all the
debunked.
planets.
Oh,
And
okay.
the
Well,
lack
fuck
of
you.
coronal holes,
I
not
guarantee that if you look back at my fucking life, that you know fucking emerald mine shit. My parents have been within 10,000 feet of a fucking emerald mine.
to the Earth, to the solar system, to the person observing. And
Really, I don't think my parents have ever been on the same fucking cut as an emerald.
we've done deeper too in some of our books on our more in detail shows. But yes, the sun is absolutely changing in that way.
Well, she's like, my dad was just an electrical engineer. I thought your dad was an electrical engineer. You know how fucking successful you could have been. If I could have been, if my dad was a fucking electrical engineer. You know how successful I'm gonna be anyway? But if my father was an electrical engineer, we'd all be having this fucking conversation on Mars, bitch.
And indeed, it does appear, as you mentioned when you started the show, that Earth has been very lucky. There have been more solar flares, but we haven't had them directly.
Meaning, like, he thinks like that sounds better. I think you were better at a fucking emerald owner. Why? I do it. That's all you've done is Tesla? Why? I'd be like, if my dad was talking to me about computers, you know where we'd be at right now? I could have said have the process, like treat and a hanging drugs. Then we were talking about hanging.
200 years, the sun basically,
I swear to God, this lady is born
on Earth for a while. And it's very easy to observe, it's not easy to explain. Kind of like
I swear to God, I'm going to listen to myself. Do I talk for this long and it just doesn't, that amount of time does not pass in my head? I swear to God, I must talk for like 30 seconds and then I'm like, alright, thank you everybody, and then it's the next person. Instead of these people who are like, I'm a penguin and I'm not a doctor. I am a doctor. I'm a penguin. I'm Dr. Penguin. I'm Dr. Emperor Penguin. What you want, baby? What you want?
Know about in history when this has happened on the sun.
Are you done?
There's one
hey, dog, are you done?
Really ties them together.
Did you put the thing in there about dipping? I'd be like, I don't know. They're like, oh, please. Rebecca, I love it.
This happened about 800 years ago. And
dude, you have been talking.
That was right around the time when the worship of the sun globally among some of the more primitive species was starting to pick back up. Even while Christianity and other Abrahamic religions were taking hold in the more civilized portions of society, in places like Australia, Africa, South America, there was a resurgence in worship of the sun. And it seems that was a time of dark sky. When it happened 400 years ago, is what I mentioned a minute ago, as the modern month. That was when we went from a geocentric to a heliocentric science. All of a sudden, the world, almost overnight, in the blink of an eye, not thinking of the Earth as the center of the universe, began to fully understand the greatness and the power of the sun. And they got it. Here we have it again happening now, and it actually started almost 1 year exactly after the launch of a new satellite called the Solar Dynamics Observatory. This is the beautiful sun images. There are all these different colors that we can see. If everybody's seen any images of the sun in the news recently, before that, maybe there were a couple thousand people studying the sun or who really cared about what it was doing. And again, in the blink of an eye, there were millions of people appreciating the sun in a way that it had never been appreciated before. And once again, with that extra focus on the power and the impressiveness of the sun, it seems to be getting done. Now, as I said, then you things to get a little crazy because then you have to start asking yourself, okay, well, how could human consciousness begin to affect the sun? And the the answer is, of course, that maybe these are just coincidences and we can't affect the sun. So they also realize that human brain waves are just electromagnetic waves. And, you know, even though it's at a minute scale, every thought we have translates to an electromagnetic wave that is emitted, whether, I mean, the people have heard of alpha brain waves, beta brain waves.
It's something you don't do. You look like a loser.
These waves don't
Yeah, it'd be cool to do in the future. But I do it's cool because no one from California calls it Cali. Oh, that is nice. No one calls it Cali.
You know, it's the same idea where
people not from California call it Cali because they think
one part of the world,
people in California call it
the
Cali.
difference between rain or sunshine on the other side of the world.
The new version of the Coast to Coast AM app is now available for iPhone and now Android 4.0 and above. Listen live or on demand, anywhere, anytime. Go coasttocoastam.com and download it today.
West Coast girl, because I'm around chicks all the time. You sound like such a douche. I swear to God. Tell us what you think. Don't tell us I do like what? You could just be like, I do Taylor. And
I'm Brittany KFI, 24-hour newsroom. Not enough to build a snowman, but the snow level will drop to about 1,000 feet today. That means snow for parts of Ventura County, Santa Barbara County, Santa Clarita, even La Cintenta. The National Weather Service says this storm will push out later today. Another weather storm will move in Thursday afternoon into the weekend. A pair of hikers have been rescued from the side of Mount Baldy yesterday. The two were left stranded after experiencing failed gear and sliding down the icy mountain. Rescue helicopter had lifted them out. 28-year-old man is in custody accused of sexually assaulting a woman while working as a rideshare driver in the Malibu area. Police are looking for more victims. And plan ahead, IHOP restaurants will give out a free short stack of their famous buttermilk pancakes February 28th for National Pancake Day. Southline weather from KFI, mostly clear, still very windy, highs in the low to mid-50s. Right now it's 49 in Orange. Irvine, Texas is 48, 35 for Acton, and 40 in Calabasas. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Bree Tennant.
In Westminster, there is a full freeway closure for 405 South Africa over Westminster Avenue. All lanes getting shut down for road work until 5. Pomona, this is on the 60 eastbound at Reservoir. Little fender there, that's picking up the carpool lane. You drive construction at the field coast this area. And then Lakeview Terrace, there is a work zone. You can westbound from Richmond to the 118. South end 32 left lane, shut down for road work until 6. Expect delays in that area. Say if I had a sky, let's get you there faster. I'm Brian Van.
On the podcast, The Last Soviet, Last Step, coming soon. Take his own experiences of astronaut training and whatnot.
That's true.
And tells the story of the final cosmonaut, a man trapped in space while his mates crumbled to the ground.
His name is Sergei Kuzmin. He's a Soviet cosmonaut, and he's named the world's only spacer, the pride and joy of the USSR.
Listen to The Last Soviet on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
Korean senior conscious person field care scan. If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. Never get on the phone.
Just for luck.
How do you get Medicare fraud? Just like I check my credit card statement, I check my Medicare statement monthly.
If your statement and you see something that you know you should not have done, you report it. Call the Senior Medicare Control.
To report Medicare fraud, call 855-613-7080. Chlorinated water is for swimming, not drinking and bathing. Chlorine causes your skin and hair to dry out. How about upgrading to the Light Source water system? Our Light Source system filters your water from every step, reducing the hard taste and feel of chlorine. Your body gets better. No maintenance, no salt, no filters or servicing. Call 800-803-2696 for a free consultation. Visit lightsourcewater.com. Light Source, taste and feel the difference. KFI, AM 640.
When my husband and I first started going out, you know when you like show the highlight reel and it's not who you are, but you're pretending to be interested in what they're interested in? It's what you do when you're in your mid-20s to impress a guy that you've never done. The Lord of the Rings and pretending that you're interested. Serious? Do that.
Live 9 to 1 p.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. You know when they let you in a car when you're 25. Accident quote with a
No, don't.
Bill, what does that tell you? Live 6 to 9 a.m. on KMI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
What's it? Rabbi Rock coming here?
To talk to George Norrie, call the wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk toll-free to Mr. Rocky, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies toll-free, call 800-618-8255. To reach George via Skype, use Skype name George 97313. Send George a text message anytime at 818-298-6521. This is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. And we'll be back with final calls with Ben Vegas.
I'm going to talk about in just a moment. The lady who said
Gabriel joins us, a professional spiritual medium, talking about the other side. In our phone call section with her, she will do readings. We'll tell you what to expect later in the program. Have you signed up yet to become a Coast Insider? The world's greatest deal.
Which is cool. We can all do that.
I'm a Coast Insider because now
we all know you're about for that. If you're over here trying to show us, who's this?
Hi, it's Teresa. I love being an insider because the shows I listen to, I always appreciate the diversity of thoughtful insights it brings me on a variety of topics from coast to coast. The show has challenged me to think deeper and to broaden my horizons.
It works. A couple ways to sign up to become a Coast Insider. CoastToCoastAM.com at the top of the homepage. You can fill out the information that way or download our free app right to your phone. And on the app, click profiles and subscriptions. Sign up that way. Also available worldwide. Or if you live in Canada, you can become an insider as well. That is something for you to calm your nerves, increase your energy, and stamina, while enhancing your mental clarity, focus, and memory. Start your day with Elevate to improve your mood and alleviate stress. Then wind down at night with Accelerate for mental and physical relaxation, while naturally cleansing and detoxifying, promoting healthy weight loss. Accelerate and Elevate. Your Power Pack.
I actually started this product not long ago, and I was just blown away from what it's done for me. Energy, focus, and clarity, and I'm not so that was amazing, and I'm losing interest off my list. I was feeling an underlying exhaustion that I could not shake. These are a gift. My mood has been incredible and absolutely lovely. So I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I have a lot of kids. I would take it and really relax until I took the Accelerate. So before I started taking the Elevate and the Accelerate, I would typically experience some kind of anxiety or mood swings. Since taking the product, I haven't taken any over-the-counter medication or prescription. Just generally happy with it.
I have an anxiety or panic attack every
Oh my God.
and I have not had one thought. I've not been anxious. I've not been jittery.
I don't know, but you got it
I
down,
don't know what to do with myself. I just felt good, clear-headed. I felt focused. There was like a drive inside of me all of a sudden. I was just excited. I was like, is this for real?
Doesn't really know that the Elevate not only gives you energy, not only gives you the vitamins I need for my body, but it helps me with my mood and my thoughts and my husband.
George's Power Pack. Order now and receive free gifts. Be Slim, refreshing weight loss tablets. Accelerate, Elevate, and Be Slim. Order now at healthylooking.com or 800-394-9930. Don't forget promo code George for free shipping. That's 800-394-9930 or
I don't know.
healthylooking.com. Impact is under fire with the Supreme Court now. They're supposed to be neutral.
How is
Now,
that?
a new book by Congressman Ken Buck blows the lid off their censorship. They set the war on free speech. In Crux, Congressman Buck shows how they suppress the truth on various issues. Crux shows how they use monopolies to hurt consumers. Big tech controls the information flow, but they also ignore your right to free speech. If you're tired of the bias,
wait, you can smoke it?
first you can get $10 Trust.
I thought I had
all the Swing Black Rock.
No, they
still on Newsmax. Every night, Rock talks to $10 about trust
I'm
and
going
its
to know it.
regulations. And find out how
That
you
seems
can
like
do this
easy
to
as
protect yourself. Watch Rock still tonight on Newsmax. Also, don't forget your website, Newsmax.com. Newsmax is great to watch. Give it a try. If for some reason your cable operator doesn't carry Newsmax, give them a call. Newsmax TV and watch the broadcast.
I would call it it. Why? I just like the way it smells.
Switch to Consumer Cellular and save up to half on
Then
your
when they
wireless
ever got in
plan.
trouble, I was like, oh, it? Oh, it. I
100%
just like the way it
US-based
smells.
customer support team.
What? It? Is it cocaine? I'd be like,
Keep your
no.
phone and number with no contract or activation. They offer unlimited talk and text.
It's like, you have a fucking
Starting at just $20 a
called
month.
it.
You can easily add your family and friends to your plan for just $15 a month per month.
Let it
Never
like
worry about
synthetic
that call.
cocaine.
Consumer Cellular has the exact same coverage as the
How do
major
you know that?
carriers
It says
for
it on
over
the side of the
99%
bottle.
of the nation.
You wrote it
This is
out.
all backed by their 100% risk-free guarantee. Join the millions of others who have switched. Go to consumercellular.com/radio25 and for a limited time, get $25 off when you use promo code 25. That's consumercellular.com/radio25. Promo code radio25.
No, it's cool. I thought you said. No, I wonder if anybody's like, dude, get out of my fucking chat, man. Really? I would talk about you're like that, and I hate you.
Yeah, you see, polar shift tunes. Would birds drop from the sky?
They're so cool. And I was like, oh, so
circumstances, yes, they absolutely could. On the much larger scale, they will just find it much more challenging to make their seasonal migrations, which, of course, for a lot of bird species are pretty pivotal to their existence and their continuing to live. And this is what we were talking about earlier with the food chain. It's not just them, but
how many
people don't realize that insects, plants, the seeds from plants, marine creatures in the ocean, and even several mammals, they're all going to have issues like this when it comes to Earth's magnetic field changing and the magnetic pole shift.
It's so cool. I'm not Kevin Mikey. Everybody listen. Everybody gather around. What's the mind me? We had different ones. We told each other this. And everybody's like, oh my god, you so sick. And I was like,
if you've been tracking your compass every day for several years or a couple decades, and
hey guys, how are you, baby? You want to go ride this way, baby?
You're probably not going to notice too much. The direction that the magnetic north pole is changing is moving directly away from us. So it's moving through the Arctic Ocean towards Siberia. And so it's the thing that is making your compass point is 10 feet away from you, directly in front of you, or 1,000 miles away from you, but still directly in front of you. The compass is going to point in the same direction, and you won't have any idea that the pole is actually moving, because it only tells you one vector. It doesn't tell you how far away it is. It doesn't tell you how fast it's moving. It only tells you the vector with the
all day, every day.
Here in
47365
in Canada, actually in this part of the world, it just looks like the pole is staying pretty much in the same position, but it's actually moving quite a bit.
Let's go back to the phones. Let's to the Rockies. Jesse's with us in Durango, Colorado. Hey, Jesse, go ahead.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. Regarding shifts and stuff in which you're talking about, I worked on projects, both military and concept that 1947 there was a little project that I was looking at a whole ship, and it was at that point in time maybe moving I missed it to a year.
Oh, figured that.
We figured by the time everything was said and done, the new equator was going to be active and large, and it's been under getting sold and getting worse.
I swear that I hate to
about a year.
Right? I like double blind. I like your view, but not when it comes to a president.
We're set up with the North Pole now over the area. Whereas
remember when everybody was like, oh, what's
Southeast here, they haven't ever come out of the, when I was growing up in Canada, they hadn't ever come out of northern Canada.
You're following that then?
Yeah, I am following that a bit.
The immune system will overcome it eventually, or it will kill you. It's not like we're going to be fighting.
It's one of the more controversial topics, but it's also one of the more important ones. One of the hardest things for people to understand and hardest things for people to hear is when this thing gets to completion, the equator is not going to be where it is now. In fact, virtually nowhere on Earth will be where it is now. I'm not necessarily familiar with the project he was describing in the 40s, but there's another project that was going on in the 40s called Project Nuke in the Arctic, led by Major Maynard E. White.
Shut the fuck up.
And
I swear to God,
for all of us,
so fucking
it's something that is a little bit illegal. It has to be one of the documents that are supposed to be classified.
Shut the fuck up.
Another one, huh?
Yeah, not only
like I do all day, every day.
but from the Pentagon meetings and the meetings with the Rand Corporation where they were actually doing models of this. And the scariest short version of this is that when they started digging down into the Arctic, they found that there were alternating layers of tropical fossils, polar fossils, tropical fossils, polar fossils, separated by only about 10 to 12,000 years each, meaning that every 10,000 to 12,000 years, that area they were studying at the Arctic
have fun with that. Have you ever done it high? It's amazing.
And then it went back to being at the polar region, and then it was in the tropics near the equator, and then it went back to the polar region. There are several other instances of this kind of evidence around the world. But essentially what it means is, because those times line up with the times in the history when Earth's magnetic field changed, like it is beginning to change now, it really implies that something as bad or even worse than what most people know as Earth's crust displacement theory is going to take place very, very rapidly, and it's going to change the face of the world as we know it.
This is Chuck Walters with us in Pennsylvania. Walt, go ahead.
Hi,
That's not
George.
double
He's talking to Ben. He's only 38 years old. He's talking to our son, George. He's only 19. And, perhaps what we need is a neutralization of the global power and communications grid, because, George, that would preclude by destroying ourselves with thermonuclear weapons. We wouldn't be able to launch the missiles, George. So I was telling Tom, maybe, premonition of the classic 51 science fiction movie, The Baby Is Still. So, maybe that's what we need, George. George, we're in a sad state of affairs, George, in this world. And you remember the Cuban Missile Crisis, and I was telling Tom, I'm much more frightened now. And of course, in 1962, I was only 11 years old.
We had diplomacy in 62. We don't have that today.
That's right, George. George, in closing, I would just like to say that Ben, I
I'm not saying that he's an evolution denier. I don't think he is. But, even without the prodigious fossil evidence, and even without the evidence of global evolution, we don't have to look down in the Grand Canyon to ask if evolution really happened, George. Like I said, ontogeny, recapitulates biology, George. We literally evolve in the womb. The spermatozoa and the ova are the human bugs from which we evolve in the womb, George. They do
right. That's
remember evolution, George. Literally.
All right, well, thank you for that. Ben, you want to comment on any of that?
George said, both of evolution and something else are real. There's evidence of massive jumps and massive changes to DNA and species that can't be explained by evolution, but you can't deny evolution exists. For those who believe in a God, I would say, what kind of fantastic, magnificent engineer would create a world where they have to then tinker with every atom and everything? Would they not just set processes in motion so that they would evolve and change over time? And so in this way, both can coexist. In terms of the first thing he said, boy, I thought I was going to get controversial with the Earth crust displacement theory. In the old movie he referenced, Earth was going to be destroyed, and all humans were going to be destroyed, and we were saved, but we had to pay a terrible price for it. And unfortunately, reading the global power grid, we've spent a good portion of the last 100 or so minutes talking about how terrible a price we will pay to lose the critical systems that allow us to live. But what happens if we don't lose them? Do we enter nuclear war? Do we continue becoming a more and more degenerate society?
We gotta be friends.
Do we continue to have
Where's this guy?
more and more opportunistic taking advantage of our children? Do we continue to become more divided as a people? As we reach a point of no return? The only way to get back to what we are meant to be, to wipe a lot off the table and start anew, and pay that terrible price so that we don't pay the ultimate price due to ourselves. And I can't sit here and say one way or another where I fall. I know I wouldn't want to be the one to have to make that decision for the entire world. Yeah, exactly. I have to recognize that it might be something that's necessary in order for us not to be completely annihilated.
How many fucking
Sean in Stockton, California. Welcome to the program. Sean, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, gentlemen. Back to the Earth's core, and the oceans have this circulation that sends the waters throughout the globe. And I was curious if the core does anything similar in that respect. And does the metal in the core require oxygen to heat? And where does the oxygen come from? Thank you. It really doesn't require oxygen to be heated.
Where's your pipe chemistry?
Simple pressure and friction can cause heat without the presence of oxygen. Totally different from creating fire and things like that. What happens deep down below will inevitably affect everything above it, whether that's over the short term or the long term, subtly or in fantastic ways. What we do know is that there is something changing in our planet, and it is moving from the core all the way out to the surface here and then to the atmosphere. And we know from the evidence that this has happened before, and we know that the results are pretty devastating, at least here on for the living creatures on the planet. And so a lot of those questions are fantastic questions. They come from a really intelligent place, but again, we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the bottom of the ocean. We know even less about what's going on at the core. We do a lot of guessing, as scientists. What we do know is that the evidence we have here today suggests that what's happening today has happened before. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is absolutely catastrophic for the surface where we live, where the animals live. And that might be as much as we know this cycle before we have to try it all again.
Tom in Petaluma, California. Tom, thanks for holding. Go ahead. Thank you for taking my call. There's a still on my on your Twitter feed for the nation. Do you need to turn scientists just how to put blogs on how to pay for the power grid? What are we doing? And I thought you might have an interest in that. I will do that. I looked that up. There's television. I was wondering, how could you tell the difference between natural alternatives from the sun or the thing of the center of the earth or weather? That's just one question. The other one was on the morality question, the ethics in our country. As you're aware of this, but the mayor in East Palestine, Ohio, is having a problem there with vinyl chloride in the sea, where some of the rail levels or levels the railroad, some of the chemical levels we use for lithium levels to be exposed to, and they were upset about that. But there's also the posting in the news because in the posting, the CDC is taking open comments from the public in May about vinyl chloride. And I thought it was important because he tried to do a news thing today, and I just knew about it, national news. But that's the one. We're out of time here, Dan. Talking about weather and weapons. What do you think of that?
So it's certainly on the government's wish list, that's for sure. This is one of those topics where the truth is found somewhere in between what they would like us to believe on CNN and the more extreme theories that you can find on the internet. The math and the science don't add up to some of the more grandiose claims of what they're able to do on the weather. They're able to tinker with it. But essentially, there's more energy unleashed in one mild thunderstorm than we really have the power to inject if we basically use all of Earth's electricity generation aimed at one storm. And so, you also look into the past and see that what's happening right now is not unprecedented. It's not unaffected given what's happening on the sun, what's happening on the Earth. And so, essentially, over time, they can build giant things underground, and they move a mountain. The answer is no. And one of the things that is the deception of omission or the deception of misdirection, which we also talked about earlier today, is making us believe that it's anything other than what's actually happening.
Good point. Jim, come back again. Let's not let 4 years go by. Up next, Eric Gabriel joins us as we talk about messages from the other side. Now, you can get still updates and connect with other Coast fans when you join the Coast to Coast AM Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/Coast to Coast AM and click the like button. How much do you think your home is worth this year? Do you think it's going to be worth the same next year? If you're thinking about borrowing on your home equity, your odds of getting more out of your home is probably higher now than it will be next year. I certainly believe that. Don't have to forget that property values might decline over the next few years, making it more challenging for borrowers to tap into their home equity. You need $75,000 or more. HMS Capital can help you borrow the money you need with the equity you built. So whether you want to consolidate your home insurance or whatever your situation is, HMS Capital will have the best solution to help you. So a premium credit report needs to apply. I've done 2 mortgages with HMS Capital. Clearly, I'm a fan. I believe they are simply the best for what they do. Call 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com. hard to admit, but when I was in junior high school, I was feeling so badly, I cried. Hello, I'm Johnny Coleman, founder of Rootedale Plumbing. I was named O'Donnell after my grandfather, but as a kid, I was accused of having that name. But it's John. John is the English version of O'Donnell, and it maintains the honor to my grandfather. My family and heritage are important to me, but staying true to myself and Rootedale Plumbing are important. Staying true to Rootedale Plumbing means to the you and delivering world-class service. That's why my cell phone number is on the back of every Rootedale Plumbing business card. Call us at 866-377, and we'll keyboard your line for $77. That's 866-377. Thank you. PO 102-8886. CFI, AM640, CFI, AM640, more stimulating talk. No on the iHeartRadio app. Guaranteed admission. I'm Bruce Henderson of KFI 24-hour newsroom. Governor Newsom says he wants UCLA to guarantee transfer students a place. The plan will require admission based on a community college graduate with specific GPA and coursework completed. $20 million in funding is on the line. If this budget gets approved, it will be a go. LA County is expected to enact its emergency winter motel voucher program. People can access the shelter bed by dialing 211 to be directed to a location. There are only 509 emergency vouchers available. Blizzard warning for parts of Ventura and LA County. It's being called the coldest storm of the winter, and it's expected to bring a dusting of snow to Ventura County, to San Fernando Valley, Santa Clarita, and La Crescenta. It'll be just a dusting, no change required. Also, gusty winds up to 50 miles an hour in the basin. Adam Razor with the National Weather Service says another storm behind this one. As we get into Thursday to Saturday, especially into the weekend, we could be seeing some more heavy winter storms impact here. Heavy snowfall, heavy rainfall. The LA City Councilwoman is calling for tighter security at Jewish institutions after two men were shot while leaving synagogues last week. Katie Wierosławski is requesting $150,000 to pay for increased security and support more than 500 Jewish institutions in LA. All flags in LA County remain at half-staff throughout the week in honor of slain Bishop David O'Connell. And she didn't get paid for performing at the Super Bowl, but Rihanna is raising it in now. She reportedly earned over $250,000 in song royalties. It's all thanks to an increase in streaming after her performance. Southside weather from KFI, mostly clear skies, still very windy, highs in the low to mid-50s. Right now it's 49 in San Juan Capistrano. Nova Linda has 46. 50 for Long Beach and 44 in North Ridge. We read local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Bruce Henderson. Seems like this quick. There's this whole three-day closure system on 405 southbound from Overland to Wolf Avenue. Southbound and Alden, shutdown for Rosewood until 5. Pomona, this is on the Senate Reservoir. Clean up crews from an early attack. Pick up the carpool range. You got to stop and go for the very avenue. And in Lakeview Terrace, there is what's known as the what's down from Richmond all the way to the 118. South there, there's a few left lanes. That's down the road was the kill station. KFI, the title. If you get faster, I'm Brian Van. They always do sharp. If you live in news, yeah, California Utilities Commission just changed the rate by which solar customers are credited for their power output. It's called Net Metering 3.0. Now the law, and no one is happy about it because it means getting 75% less credit from the big power company. But good news is there's a grandfather period, and you can still permanently lock in the awesome rate of Net Metering 2.0. You need to have your solar documents filed by April 14th. The point is that if you have ever thought about going solar, now is the time. Which means now is the time to call someone. Sunlux will walk you through how to lock in Net Metering 2.0 by the April 14th deadline. Even if you're not ready to install the system, call Sunlux and get your solar documents filed. There is no time to wait to lock in the best returns on solar you will ever see. Start today at sunlux.com. Sunlux.com. PFLB won your railway system. At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now America's most trusted system
commercial and industrial suppliers.
Not one
They get what it
person
means to
has
have support of reliable,
power.
hard-working partners. So they keep 38,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company's still in a base office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit Uline.com. Very same quality work. It's free everywhere you can stay in place. Almost forgot. And now the top 5 reasons to visit Morocco. Number 5.
If you knew both Elder Times and Inner Empire Magazine readers voted unforgettable.
Number 4.
It's the party in the book. Play table games with the reward cards and you can get 100% promo for 5 years 20 hours.
3.
You won't see 285. What night ride? Get a snack and a beverage and join the Project User Party at Sideline Sports Bar. Not sports.
And the number 2.
Don't get people ready. Get an electric pulse massager so you earn 500 points on your reward card for 27 or 28.
And the number 1 reason.
Play and dine. You can earn up to $100 a day in dining credits just by playing slots with the reward card.
Morocco Casino Resort and Spa. Morocco. Good time. On the podcast Really Know Really, join best friends Jason Alexander and Peter Children, along with experts, newsmakers, and celebrities, in a search for answers to life's most baffling, intriguing, and annoying questions. You know, those things that make you go, really? No, really? They're featuring a 17-year-old in Rhode Island who ran a cannabis that is a secret. Really? Wait, that's news to me. That's Really Know Really right there. Really Know Really. Listen to Really Know Really on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. The people in prison committed the crime, period. And that's all that matters. They're telling their history doesn't matter. They committed the crime. The gangs are in the business of crime. Done again. They don't do anything else but commit crimes all day. Live 1 to 4 p.m. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Activity. Call it up. AM 640. More stimulating talk. From the City of Angels, this is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. What messages are for us from the other side? In a moment, Eric and Gabriel joins us, professional spiritual media, Coast to Coast AM. If you happen to struggle with getting good reception in your home, Ukraine CC Wi-Fi 3 Internet Radio is the solution. Here's why the CC Wi-Fi 3 is so special. The audio is better than any smartphone in the world, and you can listen to our show just like that. It has more than 30,000 radio stations from all over the United States and the rest of the world for your discovery. You don't have to sign up for an app. There's no microphone involved. There's no ads on the screen. There's no monthly fees. And it has a full-size remote control button for you, and it's got superior reception from a greater distance from your router, too. Really cool. And you can get the CC Wi-Fi 3 by simply calling Ukraine
1-800-522-8863. That's 1-800-522-8863. Or visit Crane online at tcrane.com. Also available on Amazon.com for quicker shipping to you. Visit Crane as well online and sign up for Crane's newsletter. You're the first to know about exclusive deals.
Real people, real stories. I am acute eczema. I have tried every cream and ointment that you can imagine. It's pretty miserable. So I started taking carnivore, and at this point, I don't want to ever be without it.
Our little dog developed this lymph problem. The chemotherapy lasted for 6 months. We started developing more lymph nodes that were swelled up. So I thought I'd just try carnivore. The lymph nodes started to go down, swelling did. Then I took them into the vet and had them checked out, and there was no signs at all inside. My cat had issues that developed in his eyes, so my veterinarian said, you know what, just go ahead and remove the eye. I heard the carnivore advertising, so I said, you know what, I'm going to order this product. They did all the tests. I kid you not, this product saved his eye.
Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. Or visit carnivore.com. That's CARNIVORE.com.
Okay. Oh, shit.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you, Erica Gabriel with us. First-time professional spiritual medium teacher with more than 15 years of experience helping others find purpose, direction, and the strength to overcome life's challenges. Her mission is to spiritually empower as many people as possible by teaching them how to unlock their own connection to spirit. Erica has performed thousands of live readings, some of those tonight, and appeared in the New York Times, Forbes, Groups in Style, in addition to hosting the very popular podcast, You Are Not Alone. Erica, welcome to the program.
Hello, George. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm looking forward to this. How did you get involved in spiritual media?
You know, it's interesting. It really started with me, I should say. So from a really young age, I started feeling, seeing, and sensing spirit and things that really weren't there, quote unquote, for most people. So around the age of 7, I moved into a new house with my mom and stepdad. And I started seeing a little boy and feeling him and sensing him around the house, our new house. And my parents kind of started asking around a little bit, didn't really know what to do, and they had found out that a little boy had drowned on the property.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so from an early age, there was this awareness that there's a whole heck of a lot going on that, we can't necessarily see.
At that age, were you comfortable or were you scared?
Oh my God, George, I was so afraid.
Why?
As a little kid, you didn't know really what was going on, and I thought, I'm just a haunted person. So I think I slept on my parents' floor out of fear until I was like 12 years old. I was afraid of the dark and afraid of being alone. So I was very scared, yeah.
Did you see the little boy?
I did, and my parents still live in that house, and I love that house. It's a great place. It's very warm. I can still sense him even today, many, many years later, when I go into that home.
I was going to say, he's still there.
He is. He absolutely is, and it's not common that a soul or a spirit gets really stuck like that.
Did you ever see a picture of him? I'm wondering if he looks like what you saw.
I haven't, and it's so interesting that you asked that. I have not seen a picture of him, and I haven't further researched him. It's just this energy that I know is there. But I don't know too much about him, so it's so interesting that you asked that.
Yeah, how did you begin to develop your mediumship?
Yeah, so I really, from there, went on a wild goose chase right through, I guess, my 20s, and really started looking into religion, all religions, and all kinds of philosophies. to really understand what is this? What is this? And if there was no, there weren't a lot of media around or on TV.
Second one is like
Facebook,
and the third one is
and still, was having very intense mediumistic experiences, and even delivering messages to people, but they would kind of come at random. And finally, I saw a medium, and she said, "You know you're a medium, right?" And I was like, "No, but yes, but no, but thank you. Thanks for the help, because now I understand more." And it was a great moment, and one that I had been waiting for. And I lived right off of Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles, and within 2 weeks, I had people knocking on my door for readings. It was wild. And at that point, I had to figure out, who am I talking to? And I had to train myself to understand when I was talking to someone's loved one, when I was talking to an angel, when I was talking to a spirit guide, and when I had bumped into a quote haunting. And I really had to work very intensely to have boundaries and to understand exactly who I was talking to, so that I became a really clear medium, and a medium that's really someone that people were safe connecting to.
Have you ever been demonically tricked?
Absolutely not. Because I have trained myself intensely, and now I'm, well into my career. And I have very specific and very clear boundaries. So when I start to feel negative energy, I have absolute awareness of what that feels like.
How easy is it for you to tap into this?
At this point, it's simple. It's something I've been doing for so long. It's not easy kind of in general, but for me, I have a lot of kind of steps that I do to connecting with spirit, and now it's kind of part of me, and it's part of who I am. So I have to be in a comfortable position, a safe place, and I really open and close the door to spirit. So I'm not the medium that's like running up to someone at a restaurant trying to read for them, right? I have my door shut at that point. And I'm just enjoying my life. And then I really focus on opening the door.
I told you we were with a West 2.0 energy.
So I
told you what it was.
want to be
I've been told before I said it that email.
So if someone really wants a reading,
it's a West 2.0.
then I open the door for them. And really just open the door to what is available to them.
I'm so far past that. I'm another 0.0 past that. I'm 1.0 past that.
Yeah.
As I used to give it a point, I think in the 1.0
and the reason why specific question is so important is because, I'm not doing a full 40, 50-minute meeting for that person, right? So it's just a moment I get to connect, I get to go in and connect with spirit for them. So a specific question is always best when it's just, we only have one question together.
I wish I was dapper that. I'm dapper.
Yeah.
I'm dapper. I'm
So
just
it's so important to kind of focus the energy. So what's amazing about this type of mediumship is that whatever area the person wants to connect on,
I'll fist fight anybody. I'll fist fight any color of cream on the middle, any basketball court, any fucking country in the entire
really understand and how to get the best
and that is one of the biggest
information and utilize all of all to support people's lives.
So what's really the difference between a spirit guide and a spirit who just wants to come to you and give you information?
And it's just like, if you ever heard a long one, it's
Spirit that comes to you wants to give you information is usually the person's loved one that has crossed over. And really, what's so amazing about loved ones is that when someone comes for a reading, they don't have their loved one with you. They have their loved one with them. And when I open the door for them, their loved one comes through with that
It was just like when NBC was doing something, it's like, oh, dude, it's gonna be so big. I can't believe how big this is. This is like watching it in the Rockefeller's backyard. Why? This is Rockefeller's Center, baby. I swear to God, I'm in Hyde Park right now. Jesus fucking Christ.
That continues on in spirit.
Oh,
A huge guide is, I almost say like,
yo, dog.
that was, so when you go to hike an amazing mountain, you get someone that's done it before, that's really skilled.
I hope that guy's doing well. I remember that guy. I think like that. Really? Tiny kids. Like,
through this life.
I think he did it in
journey of our souls.
March.
And everyone has a spirit guide. I've never met someone that
I wonder if
Ariana,
yeah. I wonder if she got the ability to do those kinds of both.
Could you ask that again? I'm sorry. Oh, yes. Living. We all have spirit guides. And we can connect with them anytime we want. We can really meet us in our intuition. Right? Within us. Our spirit guides can work with us. And they're not our puppet masters. They're not controlling us. They don't boss us around. They're there when we need them.
Are you a walker? And by that I mean where a spirit walks into your body, literally takes it over, and communicates with life. Are you done?
Nope. That is not me at all. And in fact, I'm very in charge of my body. I'm very in charge of
not that 3-pointer.
Who I'm talking to. So
I'm that doesn't exist, and it will never exist.
And again, that's
and then like next week it'll
a wonderful life.
Oh yeah, let's 4
So I work every
yeah,
time I
then something
research
from
my
Rockefeller,
spirit guide is
and
with me.
it got bought by
And I'm working with my personal
I'm gonna make
spirit
sure
guide.
it's fucking West 4.0 really fall. You're gonna have to dribble that.
Information you have one spirit guide angel. So I am completely protected.
Yeah, it's West 3.0.
Is there a hell?
You know what? This is a tough one, and I've worked really long on this to really understand the answer, but we actually all go to the same place.
I thought she wasn't just saying. I wasn't just saying.
There's so many people because there's so many people that have audition.
Yeah, like, and
we all go to the same place.
Oh, yeah.
And we all go
like
there
and have
the same contact with you. We sit down and we review our life journey, the things we've done in life. You know, our soul, before our soul comes to the first element, which I call earth passion, our soul puts out the series of lessons that they want to learn. And so we review how we did on these lessons.
Are you done?
You know,
Web 3.0 companies
we also review the effect that we have on others.
Oh,
and what that's like, and what the things that we've done. For someone that's caused incredible harm, I don't know that they get to get out of review because they're having to experience what they caused. So is that hell? No. But do they have to feel what they created here on Earth? Absolutely.
I'm going to say someone who would say might be a mass shooter who killed a handful of people.
And it's suicide.
What happens to that person?
It's
well, it's a question because, we're talking about someone that has done horrible. And then we're also talking about suicide.
And then nobody did it. The funniest thing about it, like it would be like, please, you must do this, you must never came. Every single time.
But they have to experience the funeral and sadness of those family members.
He said, like, not doing anything wrong.
And it's a really important question because unfortunately during this time in our human experience, many people unfortunately are committing suicide. I've connected more families with someone who committed suicide in the past 2 years than I've had in my entire career.
I was like,
So I just want to say that because anyone listening that, experienced suicide in their family, you're not alone. And I also want to say to people that this life is so important. And it's so important to be here
and that your soul comes together, and you have a beautiful purpose.
That you were working for the master.
Suicide, you go to the same place.
Yeah.
So
All right, are you done?
Suicide is that
Who owns that
many of the
company?
lessons
I don't know. Who
that
owns
we
that
may
company?
have not been able to complete while our soul was here in their life on earth, we will have to do again. It's not a punishment, but our soul wants to do that.
Absolutely.
100%. And in fact, sometimes, I'm not, specifically a past life regressionist, but sometimes in reading, past lives do show up. And the reason why is because there's something in a past life that is currently affecting the current life.
It's not like
So sometimes we hear things from our past life and we're able to let go of them, let them kind of, leave our soul
tell me
in a
all
way,
about this
and then we can move on. So like, for example,
started it,
for people with debilitating fear,
Oh,
and it has come up, say they're afraid of someone was really afraid of crossing bridges. And it was debilitating because there's bridges everywhere.
Did you ever have one?
Her guide showed me a past life where she was actually murdered on a bridge and then thrown from the bridge.
What were those little things?
Yeah.
Sea monkeys, those were cool. They had a chip at one point.
Yeah, so yes, hauntings are real. And not all hauntings are created equal. There's many different layers and levels to spirit, and there's many different layers and levels of both. So they're not all the same. So for example, if you go into a place that's many, hundreds of years old, there are imprints of energy there. It doesn't mean there's a person stuck there walking around. Right? You can walk into a room and feel, wow, this place is old. Or you can walk in sometimes to a room and feel, oh, this is creepy, right? It's because there's an imprint there of former energy. So that is, in essence, what people think, this is a haunted. And it's really not. It's kind of the energetic imprint of that space.
Yeah, that's pretty effective.
No, and it's one of the best fucking ads of all time. This is very rare, believe it or not. There are such energies that couldn't quite cross over, but believe me, it's actually more rare than people know.
Yeah,
I remember the movie Focus. Remember that original movie? I've heard it, but I have not.
Let's have a Barack Obama, but no other country. Is that not like...
You wouldn't know it, but as Erica,
oh, that's Bob Ross.
plain old Erica, I'm really addicted.
But it's like...
I'm really scared of scary movies. So in the beginning of the
imagine the brainstorming in there. Dude, we gotta have Buffalo. We gotta have Scooby-Doo. We gotta have the Looney Tunes. Absolutely no Disney characters. We gotta have Bob Ross. Now, there's any president we should have.
Don't go in the light. Don't go in the light.
Why don't we get the fuck out of it, dude? We gotta have Ross.
Oh my god. You know what? I need to watch that movie. Okay, I'll have to be very brave and watch that movie.
I bet the Melissa Gilmore, this happens just everywhere.
The idea about going
I think they'd be like, they should start gift pets for every president. I bet somebody up there is like, I really love the children. And that's like, you killing gift pets. They should just gift pets like they sell bobbleheads. They should sell bobbleheads and gift pets in one. My kids do this.
Right. And it is real. It's the other side that they're kind of recognizing.
They're going to be like,
And that's
the same thing that the famous people.
And, there is this powerful surge of positive energy happening on the planet at all times. Yes, of course, there is a lot of negative energy as well. But even here in life, right, not even talking about the other side, but talking about our life experience, it's important that we continue to go towards the light.
Why don't people like
what you focus on grows.
I go both ways.
So if you're constantly focusing on the negative and the darkness, that will grow in your life. So the idea is, not only go towards the light as a soul, but go towards the light in your life.
Are you done?
Well.
Motherfucker.
Erica, we're going to take this
Your cheese is fucking normal. What is this company?
Something is very weird. People are acting really silly. So we'll take that. Erica's website is the name, EricaGabriel.com. Link up at coast-to-coast.com. Coast to Boundaries, the new version of the Coast to Coast AM app is now available for iPhone and now Android 4.0 and above. Listen live or on demand anywhere, anytime. Go to coast-to-coastam.com and download it today.
See a guy, like Pet Rock. So like your Pet Rock will be there today. But yeah, but are you done? Are you done with this or are you what is this logo? I think it's like a sneeze. Yes, it's to go. It's like a piece. There's a few there.
I'm independent from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A winter storm warning for SoCal with no down to 1,000
Oh, it's like a
the weather service says this storm will push out later today, but another
weather
storm will move in Thursday afternoon into the weekend. Emergency housing vouchers are available by dialing 211. A 28-year-old man is in custody accused of sexually assaulting a woman while working as a rideshare driver in Malibu. Police are looking for more victims. An LA City Councilwoman is calling for tighter security at Jewish institutions after 2 men were shot while leaving synagogue last week. Katie Yaroslavsky is requesting $150,000 to pay for increased security, also support more than 500 Jewish institutions around Los Angeles. South High Weather from KFI, mostly cool, still very low, highs in the low to mid-50s. Right now, it is 48 in South Valley, 47 in Brea, Paramount Coachella 50, and it's 46 in Beverly Hills. We read local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Bree Tennant.
You know what it is. Well, no. Why don't they just like, I guess it's stacking up right around the road. I call it the what else is
no matter what inspiring you to learn a language, travel, work, family,
I know what else. What else?
right now, there's a one-time unlimited
You ask me, like, oh, we're all fucking experts. Oh, I don't know. Who? Satoshi, Nakamoto, where are you looking for? I don't know where you're looking for. I want to fucking document.
Someone said, don't get on experiences. I'm often up and that's true. And tells the story of Hamlet Confidant, a man trapped in space with the ground.
He's a Soviet cosmonaut and he's known the world's one space, the pride and joy of the USS.
Listen to the last Soviet on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
What's the AR?
For emergency backup power, there is only one name.
Web 3.0
power. Since 1965,
Southern California has relied on
for powering the most critical things
of railroad
and highways. Every form of even homes and RVs, whether it's a new generator or Duffy's legendary repair and maintenance services or an emergency rental, Duffy Power has you covered 24/7, 365. If you live or do business in Southern California, you know it's no longer a question of if the power is going to go down. It's only a question of whether you're just going to let it happen. Or
It's not a company called
control.
Yeah,
It's time to call Duffy Power. To learn how to protect yourself in the next outage, and all the ones after that, go to DuffyPower.com. DuffyPower.com. That's Tory. Things done today. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com. Who can I send to when no children leave me? No, I won't go in the snow. I must go
Call me like phone. Why would they say, oh, it's my phone? I knew this, but I'm following my phone. I look like you get the hello. I feel like Hello World wasn't on Website Channel. Hello World was on at least like 7 points. I'd be like, okay, what you was on? They said, well, I know I was like 9. I was like, yeah, that's probably nice. Well, the question, so just why? Oh my God.
From somewhere out there.
Yo,
This
dog.
is Coast to Coast AM with George York.
That's it.
We're going to do
So sick.
next hour with Eric and Gabriel. We're going to do them as readings. You will meet them in English on the first and the first day and the song. And then just ask us a specific question if you want. Paranormal Days, by the way, keeps rolling along. Sign up if you haven't, and if you're eligible at paranormaldays.com. 998 people old, and right now 155,000 signed up members. That's a great way to meet somebody. But you know, what happens if you want to meet somebody a bit more mature? Well, we've got the covered there too. You go to paranormaldays.com/media. There you meet people that are 60 plus and think like you. So go out to dinner, have some fun. Go to paranormaldays.com/paranormaldays.com. Fantastic people. Hi, I'm Ron. Hi, I'm Jennifer. What do you do? Yeah, I'm curious some of your listeners. How so? Well, I'm into UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and the paranormal. It's that kind of stuff. But you can find me. Oh, well, I'm here to use the time. I gotta go. Okay. Guess that's not your cup of tea. You said, yeah, it's good with that. You can do whatever. What is you? Have you thought about paranormaldays.com? So, what's that? What? I'm a paranormal matchmaker. That is paranormaldays.com. It's a website for people looking for people like them. Stuff you like, remember? I'll give it a shot. Will, try this again. I'm Tom. Hey, I'm Deb. Your profile on paranormaldays.com looks very interesting. So you really saw a UFO? Well, yeah. It was so intense. But not in a silly way. But I kind of like it. Wow. This paranormaldays.com can really work. Maybe paranormaldays.com is for you. People with an interest in things they hear on George's channel find their match daily. So if you're looking for that special someone with an interest in UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and of course, the paranormal, come to the dating site Inspired by George Noy. It's always free to search. And if you decide to upgrade our amazing new features, use promo code George for a great discount. Paranormaldays.com. I'm not alone. If you're looking for a great investment, look no further than BullionX.com/post for physical gold and silver. Keep it on hand and save it for a rainy day. That's right. Bullion Max will ship you gold and silver, any denomination you want, fully insured, directly to your door. Think about that. Gold and silver happens to be the world's oldest, most proven forms of currency. And it's therefore when inflation soars and other assets go sideways, if and when lives go out, we talk about last hour. To get started, go to BullionMax.com/post and purchase yourself started. You get 6 ounces of solid silver, including a limited vintage asset, and we're just going something Bullion Max and I set up this for you. Again, go to BullionMax.com/post to do that now. Purchase your silver starter that will make the first stop building an emergency reserve of gold and silver at bullion.com/gold.
Tired of overpaying for your cell phone bill? Switch to Consumer Cellular and save up to half on your wireless plan. Their award-winning 100% US-based customer support team makes switching easy. Plus, you can keep your phone in number with no contract or activation fees. They offer unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at just $20 a month. You can easily add your family and friends to your plan for just $15 a month per line. Never worry about flat calls. Consumer Cellular has the exact same coverage with the major carriers to over 99% of the nation. This is all backed by their 100% risk-free guarantee. Join the millions of others who have switched. Go to consumercellular.com/radio25 and for a limited time, get $25 off when you use promo code Radio25. That's consumercellular.com/radio25. Promo code Radio25.
And welcome back to Coast. George Dory back to Gabriel. Our website is their name, linked up at coasttocoastsavings.com. That was my father's name, by the way, Erica Gabriel. And my sister took his first name and used it for her last name.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I love that.
She goes by Gail.
Well, hi, Gail.
There's only two of you ever on the planet.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So let's talk a little bit about what I'm sensing and get your take on it. Okay, people are acting strange. They're acting weird. They're acting uptight. They're doing bizarre things. Do you sense that, Erica?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we are undergoing this huge energetic shift on the planet. I mean, everything that happens energetically also happens physically, right? So we're seeing all kinds of shifts and changes happening on the planet and within people as well.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
So it is a wonderful thing. And it also has some quote negative results, right? So people are uncomfortable with the old patterns, the old paradigms. Everyone wants change. And this is coming out, right? We're going, wait a minute, I don't just live to work. I want something else for my life, right? So it's coming out in life, it's coming out in the world, right? There's more separation. People are really struggling to connect with others. And so things are shifting and changing. I have also never had more people call me and say, I am having intuition, I'm connecting with angels, or I feel like I'm having all these spiritual experiences happening. So there's many, many shifts. And this is a good thing. Yet, while we're shifting, there are some negative ramifications, like we're seeing separation, or like people going, oh my gosh, this is awful. I'm so uncomfortable. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I know I want to change and shift and change my job or change this and that. I just don't know how. So a lot of people are feeling really, really stuck.
What is the challenge do you tell your youngster who might be watching television and he or she hears stories of nukes and this and that, like we did back in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis? What do you tell these kids?
Yeah. So I tell kids, and my kids in particular, they see things on the news. My son has such a deep heart for homeless crisis. And I always tell him, you know what? You know what is the best way to be able to feel good or even to help homeless people? I tell him, you go to school and you study and you do wonderful in your life, you will be able to help more homeless people than you can imagine, right? So the idea is for everyone is to know how incredible you are, how powerful you are, how important your life is, and how focusing on feeling good, getting healthy, mind, body, and spirit helps you really find your purpose while you're here and helps you find that purpose. And when you're shining your light bright, this does affect the world, right? if they're all feeling terrible and have dim light, right, then the world starts to kind of energetically go down. So you really focusing on yourself and getting yourself to a good place.
The reason why I use the hashtag just in the first sentence is because with Twitter Blue, it limits how many hashtags you can use, or I would literally make every single word hashtag. Why? Because it tags it on more things on the internet, so that means connect it. It means it's a more powerful tweet, but instead, Twitter's pretty smart, so they don't allow you to do 4,000 characters worth of hashtags. They limit it, and they also limit the amount of people you can tag in it. So
it's no longer serving everyone. And so massive amount, millions and millions and millions of people are shifting, are changing, are kind of seeing.
So what I do is just hashtag the first sentence of it so that it's really easy for me to find. I just hashtag whatever my tag is, hashtag ViralRabbi, and then like hashtag UFOs or hashtag Tesla or hashtag DARPA. Some really interesting things. I don't know if anybody's aware, but Jeff Bezos' grandfather and his connection to the DARPA program, he was one of the architects of it. And so, I mean, look, I love Amazon as much as the next guy. But you know, when you think that some of these companies may have started out of a garage and they want to have these nice stories, they did that. That's all good, but in reality, it's like, you know, it's not that impressive, I guess, to me for how successful Amazon is when you find out that literally Bezos' grandfather wrote the manual on the internet, and I can give you all the information regarding the 1950s. Just one moment, and I'll get it for you. I tweeted it below, along with some other really interesting things that I think everybody will probably find some interest in, whether it's on cryptocurrency or some type of technology, some type of health. And just let me find this one on Bezos, and it's very, oh, and I got one on Elon Musk too, that's really interesting. So here it is on Bezos. So Jeff Bezos' grandfather, let me open it up here. Once President was a regional director for the Atomic Energy Commission during the 1950s. Dice was also one of the early architects of DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. DARPA was founded in 1958 in response to the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik satellites and was tasked with developing new techniques for the U.S. military. Some of the DARPA has developed over the years include the internet, GPS, and stealth technology. So it's like, oh, well, if my grandfather invented the internet, well, I could come up with some kind of company that delivered everything too. And GPS. Dice's involvement with DARPA was primarily focused on the development of nuclear weapons. Bezos has never publicly commented on his grandfather's involvement with DARPA or nuclear weapons. I just think this is very, very interesting. Additionally, I don't know if you know some of the background on Elon Musk. This is alleged, but this is according to ChatGPT. So I mean, this isn't just like something I just made up. This is what it says about Elon Musk. Elon Musk's grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, purchased the Gravelotte Emerald Mine in 1948. The mine is located in the Limpopo province of South Africa. The mine was operational for 40 years. Emeralds in the mine were sold to jewelers and collectors around the world. The mine was one of the most productive emerald mines in South Africa. It was also one of the oldest mines in the world. Many of the mines were of high quality and large size. Some of the largest emeralds ever found in South Africa were found in this mine, and the mine employed hundreds of workers over the years at least. So, I mean, Elon Musk can come out and say, I have no connection to the emerald mine, and that's fine. Bezos can say he has no connection to DARPA, and that's cool. And the reason why no one challenges them on this is because they fear them. They're billionaires, so they fear them, and they never ask me questions. But I'm someone that reads my 24-hour stream. I'm not afraid of them, and I'll call them out. And I'll say, look, I'm not the one saying this. AI is saying that you have to take yourself. And they're going to say, AI can generate anything you want. And I understand that. But I'm also interested to know why, Jeff Bezos, why haven't you ever addressed your grandfather in this? And Elon Musk, it seems like you have some more explaining to do about this mine. But those are my thoughts. And I put that in the chat.
In a way that feels in control, and that really gives you step-by-step towards getting to that purpose, right? So keep your job, don't blow up your life, and start to show up for your purpose every single day. And that can be in small ways or in big ways.
So why is it important to tap into spirit for this?
Yeah, for finding your purpose, yes, it's really important because your soul knows why you came here. Your soul knows. Your soul knows why it's here. Your soul, this is a quote from Michael Beck's soul, is quote loaded and coded like a computer with your soul purpose and your reason for coming here. You're loaded and coded within you. You also have loaded and coded within you this incredible connection spirit. So when you go in and you start to remember the true purpose of your soul, why you're here, the fact that you have this incredible divine connection to spirit, to God, whatever resonates with you, when you go in and remember, you can continue to walk your path and walk your purpose. So finding a way to spirit is really, if you go within and you quiet your mind, that's connected. Right there. It's right there within you. There's no magic pill or magic place you go to. Turning within will connect you with your intuitive voice, and it's there that you're connected to spirit, and you can begin to really watch your life get supercharged, activated, and watch yourself move forward.
Are you happy being a medium?
Oh, I'm so happy being a medium. I am so happy being a medium. Every single day I wake up, and, even if it's a tough morning, right, I just think back, why am I here? What's my intention? And it's like, well, I'm here to connect and help people and connect people with incredible messages to help them move on in their life. And it's a beautiful, beautiful purpose, and I love being a medium. It's a wonderful path.
Tell us about the podcast. You are not alone.
Yeah, my podcast, You Are Not Alone. So that started in 2020, and it was actually offered to me as a spot to do this podcast. And would you know I have never listened to a podcast before that time? You're on the podcast? Yes, I have a podcast. Tell me what you do. And I just started doing it. It's taken off. It's a wonderful podcast that connects people with all kinds of ideas about spirituality. I have fantastic guests. And I also do a lot of solo episodes as well that are very focused episodes that answer, life questions, right? I have podcasts about ghosts. I have podcasts about life and death, destiny. And it's a great place to go and feel seen, feel included. And there's all kinds of different, people that come on that talk about their journey. And that made people really good, really included in their journey and their spiritual journey.
No.
To the creation skills, like I said, it's just we can get the others. We can also get, again, something that's stuck. And what happens is there's something heavier in them for their whole life. So they're almost not here, not there, right? I'll tell you a quick story, George. I was reading for a woman whose brother had crossed over in a horrible car accident. And I saw him die in the car accident, and then he kind of backed up out of his body, and I saw him begin to walk down the street. So he went, oh God, my car's wrecked, I better walk home. And I saw him walk out of his body and walk home. Now, as he started to walk home, he saw his grandpa who had crossed over, and his grandpa said, come on, kid, you're done. Come with me to the lake. And he was able to cross over, but what was fascinating, when I told the woman this story, she said, that is just unbelievable that you said that. I said, why? And she said, because we found his key and his wallet halfway down the street. So he had really not known that he had crossed over at that moment. And, that can also create a ghost. At that point, he had not crossed over. He didn't go.
You know how when you, aside from dreams, you go to sleep, you wake up and you realize 6 to 8 hours have gone by. It's not really like dying, but it's going on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't associate sleep with dying. First of all, just on a human level, we need to rest ourselves, we need to rejuvenate, regenerate, right? But it's interesting you ask that because at times, when we go to sleep, first of all, we're just dreaming, right? So our subconscious mind takes over and we're kind of working things out that are buried in our subconscious. But, I have done this thing called astral jumping, where you're actually traveling while you're asleep. And I used to do that not purposely, but kind of early on in my mediumship. And I would wake up exhausted and I would say to my guide, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do that. I need rest. Right? You want me to do all these readings and work with you? I'm not going, astral jumping. And what happened was I started going into other people's experiences and almost serving as a guide and helping them. And I'm like, I can't do this during sleep hours. So I didn't feel like I was dying by any means, but there is, travel. People do travel to other realms and other experiences when they're asleep. And I know that sounds wild and even far-fetched, but it's real.
Now, when we take calls next hour and you want their birthday, the question is why? You're not an astrologist, so what do you need a birthday?
Correct. So there are billions of people, right, on Earth, and the birthday and the name really connect me with that person and make sure that my guides really know who's there and pinpoint. So there may be, a couple million Jackies in the world, but with that exact birthday, I'm able to really hone in and focus just on that person's energy. It gives me that specific kind of imprint of who that person is.
Erica's website again is her name, Erica, Brika, Gabriel.com. Next up at coasttocoastam.com. And this is where have you been? How come this is your first time on the program?
I know. This is such a wonderful day. I'm so happy to be with you, really.
How did we find you?
So you found me through Gaia. Yep, through Gaia. And originally, I believe that you heard me on my podcast and a couple of other podcasts that I've done. And we just have this great connection. And I'm so happy that it created this wonderful moment in time that we're able to talk and that I'm able to connect with your incredible listeners.
Well, you're doing a great job, and they're looking forward to talking to you. Try to keep your phone call to about a minute, 2 minutes per person, okay?
Sure, absolutely.
To many, many people. And you've been doing this since you were 7 years old?
Yeah. Isn't that wild? This is really, it's a calling. It's a soul calling. And I know I've done this for many, many lifetimes.
Well, that's the way to do it, to be sure. And since you've been doing this, have you ever felt you wish you weren't in a certain situation?
Yeah, I have, actually. Absolutely. Definitely more earlier on in my career where I just didn't feel as clear. But I have been in situations where I have seen someone was going to cross over, and that has been really challenging. I'm a very positive and energetic reader. I focus on the light, right? But things have come through that were unbelievably uncomfortable. And in that moment, I'm just like, okay, I'm good. I'm out of here.
All right, Erica, we're going to take a break and come back and take an hour of calls with you next on Coast to Coast AM. Find out more about tonight's guest. Log on to coasttocoastam.com. Big news from Newsmax. AT&T DirecTV censorship of Newsmax continues. Newsmax says DirecTV continues to carry 22 Maple Leaf channels, but they just canceled Newsmax. With OAN gone, Newsmax says 2 conservative channels now DirecTV has removed in a year. Newsmax says they are the 4th highest rated cable news channels with great hosts like Greg Kelly, Chris Gustinger, Rob Smith, Mike Huckabee, Jonathan Sussman, and more. Now millions of DirecTV subscribers can't watch them. Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Mike Huckabee, is staying with Newsmax and for free speech. Call DirecTV now, and Newsmax wants you to tell them to get Newsmax back on the air. You can tell the Newsmax that you oppose censorship, you want more voices, not less. Call toll-free 877 Newsmax.
I just wanted to take a quick take on it. So I'm someone who that mind uploading is a thing. It is currently a thing that science is working on and attempting to reach the truth. I think that will really open up the world, particularly to some new types of opportunities. So if you're not familiar with what mind uploading is, it's full brain emulation, which the brain can completely emulate the mental state of an individual in a digital computer. The computer then runs a simulation of the brain's information processing such that it would respond in the same way as the original brain and experience having a sentient conscious mind. And if that's true, well, then that means immortality is true. Now, I'm not saying we can do that today, but maybe in the next 10 years or 20 or 30, or perhaps when all of our generations we or our children might be able to upload our brains. Well, then what does that mean? Well, then that means immortality is a thing, and there's infinity is a thing to that.
That's really right there. Really. Listen to Really. I mean, I heard radio app or wherever you get your podcast. God. Without the
Hold on. Let me finish my point, please. Please, before you cut me off. So you're able to then use mind uploading, take your brain, your memory, your soul essentially, and put it in a cyborg, in a robot, a cybernetic individual, a clone of yourself, quite a few different things. If we're living in a world like that, the idea of marriage being for vows that are forever is really a punishment if you think about it. And because of that, I think in the future, people will still have some type of marriage, but it will no longer be until death do us part. It will be for a certain period of time, perhaps 7 years or so. Why? There's something called the 7-year itch. And after people are together about 7 years psychologically, they tend to want to move on to another partner. If you're in love with your partner, you could get married for another 7 years, and another 7 years, and another 7 years. But after a certain amount of time, you will want to essentially find a new partner, and instead of having to go through the pain of a divorce like we're discussing, you wouldn't have to. Your contract would be up, and you would just find another partner. And I know it's a new take on things, but what are your ideas?
Go on the way down to 1,000 feet. Think of where you are. And go ahead and Google whatever city you're living in right now and see what the elevation is. Because I have a feeling you're going to say to yourself, say to your significant other or your dog or whatever, hey, honey, do you know that we live in an area that could get snow? I know, it's weird. So we'll be on the live line in just a second. ViralRabbi County Sheriff's Department says it's looking for people who may have been sexually assaulted by a rideshare driver, and the man convicted of killing rapper Nipsey Hussle is expected to get life in prison when he's sentenced. So we'll get into all of that and talk about stars. So a little precursor for what we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. The National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning for the mountain areas in LA County. It'll be in effect from 4 a.m. Friday until 4 a.m. Saturday or 4 in the afternoon on Saturday. So the mountains could see 5 feet of snow. I was listening to a national weather forecast earlier, and they were saying the Twin Cities area around Minneapolis, they could see 2 feet of snow. And I thought, you could see 5. It's that, Minnesota. You also could see wind gusts in excess of 55 miles an hour. That's not unprecedented. We get those return animals. But some isolated areas could get as much as 7 feet of snow. Holy cannoli. Now the rest of us could just be windy, chilly, wet conditions each day weekend, but we'll pinpoint it in just a second with the National Weather Service. ViralRabbi County Sheriff's Department says it's looking for people who may have been sexually assaulted by a rideshare driver. The Department's Special Victims Bureau says it's investigating the attack of a 28-year-old woman who claims she was sexually assaulted on January 23rd in Malibu. Investigators say on February 14th they arrested Kyle Cook, and because of the nature of the crime and Cook's access to rideshare customers, investigators say
no, but what I am saying is that you can avoid divorce if you, perhaps, I'm not saying altogether avoid divorce, but if you put a date on it, you can always renew it, and renew it as many years as you want, to 100 years, 120 years, as long as you want. If you're still in love, by all means. But a lot of people feel pressured to be in a relationship for the rest of their life, and then they end up cheating on their spouse. If they knew that they didn't have to do that, okay, well, after 7 years, this contract is done, or 3 years, or 1 year, or whatever it is, when they didn't have to worry about the divorce afterward, I think it'd be a lot cleaner of a society.
Cleans the outside, just a little bit.
The neighbor said he believes Mrs. Medina did cooking and cleaning for the day, that the couple worked for O'Connell for at least 5 to 6 years. In Hockey in the Heights, Chris Adler, KFI News.
Now, the man accused of killing Bishop O'Connell is due in court. Medina was arrested Monday morning. Trial started in L.A. for a former deputy mayor accused of taking part in a former councilman, Jose Rizar's, pay-to-play scheme. Raymond Stan is accused of helping arrange having a real estate developer pay off a sexual harassment claim against Rizar. U.S. Attorney spokesman Karen McAvoy says FBI agents are expected to testify in the case. Some of the people also expected to testify is George Esparza, who is Rizar's special assistant at one time. Rizar pleaded guilty last month for running the pay-to-play scheme in which Chinese real estate developers were given special treatment in exchange for bribes. In LA, Blake Troll is KFI News. We'll talk about the potential blizzard conditions on the way with National Weather Service meteorologist Andrew Rourke. But first, let's say good morning again to Robert Sebastian checking out some road work on the side. Upward on the westbound side of the sand. It's between Euclid and Mountain. All lanes have been shut down overnight during the process of picking up those cones. They have brushing some pretty heavy delays till back to Fort Clear. Also had a crash in the Ontario stretch on the eastbound side of the safety. The crash cleared in the last couple of minutes. Everything out of lanes over to the right. So we're still at the sloping off at 71 though. And we have a ladder to be a little aware that you're in your way on the 55 southbound heading through Orange just before the 22. That's to the left side of the freeway. There's also a closure to be aware of near the stage line, way out there, but 50 north and south shut down both directions between Michigan and Trim Boulevard. This is due to visibility and wind issues. KFI in the side up gets there faster. I'm Bucky. 5:05 on your wake-up call. Meteorologist Andrew Rourke with the National Weather Service is back. They're becoming a part of the show. I think we need to get you on it after.
Yeah, I hear you there.
So, Andrew, good morning. Good, you just heard Robert talking about already wind and gusty conditions. I know last night I was putting some stuff in my car, 7:38, and the wind was picking up in the Inland Empire, and we had kind of a cold mist, and I thought, oh, Arctic blast, here you are.
There it was. There's the first of the 1-2 winter fronts we're having in the next couple of days. Dry cold front went through, brought in very strong winds, 55, 60, 70 miles an hour some places, down to trees, came through in about 6 hours, just settled down right now. I just canceled by the high wind warnings, just waiting on wind advisories. So a breezy, blustery day today, cold, pretty cold, highs only in the lower to mid-50s. When you put 20 miles an hour wind on top of that, just not going to be a very nice day to be outside.
No, not at all. Okay, so press pause really fast to everybody listening to Wake Up Call. Did you just hear that we have the guy on who has the power to cancel a wind advisory? So if you're looking at the National Weather Service forecast, this is the guy. I'm just saying, we have the man on the best. So Andrew, tell us more about what we can expect today. So we've got these cold conditions coming in. The folks we were talking about two-part storms. So when does this one end and when does the next one start?
Well, the one that pretty much ended. Maybe some showers. The mountains with very low snow level. So people going on the grapevine into the San Joaquin Valley, they check weather conditions on the spot before they leave. But while the snow levels are very low today, we're not expecting a whole lot of snowfall. So hopefully there's some snow in the air in places. Otherwise, most people in LA will be sunny skies today. Breezy conditions was 20 to 25 miles per hour winds. And as I said, they're very cool temperatures. This kind of cold drop to let us continue just a Thursday morning. But then the second stronger punch is going to come through as it rotates out of Canada down the coast and into LA. Looking for, also in California actually, looking for steady rain to start later Thursday and then intensify through Friday, keeping Friday afternoon to Saturday morning. It's really all kinds of weather disaster with those 12 hours, 18 hour periods there as a very strong storm comes in, very low snow levels, with a lot of water and a lot of snow.
Okay, so it sounds like one of those, if you can work from home on Friday, that would be your best bet.
That would be a very good bet. And if you have to go through the mountains on Friday, you're probably not going to.
Okay, so leave that out, or forever we'll just leave that.
They go on one.
Okay, so then when it comes to
I guess I'm wondering, I know not that you're looking at your crystal ball, you won't be able to say for sure until after both of these countries are over. But in the end, when it comes to range all totals, are we going to a place where we breathe a little bit easier when it comes to the drought?
Oh, yeah, this which is why it's so super forest is the rain. It's really difficult February storm. It'll help out that 600 doing different helpful can help otherwise the areas where something is a lot of the forest on the left so everything helps drought, the difference 5, 6, 7, 8 years, so we can't fill up a couple months of rain, unfortunately. But we're gonna get a lot of the one thing I want to talk about, unprecedented with 1989 is the amount of snow we're forecasting for the mountains. It's just going to be amazing. Up to 2 or less. It's going to be looking 5, maybe 7 feet of snow in the short time.
Okay, so when it comes to the snowfall totals, I mean, that's pretty incredible. In your time as a forecaster, as a meteorologist, is this about the best that you have seen, I guess?
Yeah, since I've been here in the early 90s, I missed the 1989 storm, so yes, I've never seen a snow. I've never made a snowfall forecast this so large in my career here in California.
You know, I had a friend who was one of my best friends when I was working in San Francisco, and we were talking about how he'd say, oh, I'm glad I'm a forecaster, you know, at least here in the Bay Area where things go up and down and whatever. And he was joking about how boring it must be to be a forecaster in Southern California where the weather's always beautiful. Not now, Mike, you know, if you're listening.
That's true, yeah, it's been exciting. This is the 4 days, it's very unusual, and it's fun to be a weatherman kind of day. But, June's coming though, so we can make fun of us then.
Sounds good. Thank you as always, Andrew. I really appreciate it, and we'll probably bring it back on. So I'm hoping you're working all this week.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right, thanks. See you later. That National Weather Service meteorologist Andrew Rowe. It is really remember wake up call. Now, we've got the storm here, but this winter storm is ultimately making its way through the upper Midwest, delivering very cold temperatures there. In the Midwest, there's good warming up because they're looking at negative temperatures. This storm that we're talking about in the upper Midwest could affect more than 40 million people in the next 3 days. It's expected to continue through tomorrow morning. The Dakotas, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. And from what I understand, hundreds of flights have already been canceled or delayed. Now, so now you're talking about the winter storm that's covering coast to coast. So if you're planning on traveling anywhere, not just where Andrew was talking, over the grapevine, you're planning on traveling anywhere, and you might have to go through the Midwest. I would double check. Pictures are observing Ash Wednesday. It starts the 40-day season of Lent. Ash Wednesday got its name from the practice of placing ashes in the shape of a cross on the foreheads of the faithful as a sign of penance. Now, in the Roman Catholic Church, people are told to turn from sin and live the gospel. Mexico's former head of internal security was basically living a double life. He was found guilty in the U.S. of taking bribes to protect drug cartels that he was supposed to be fighting. So I heard somebody describing this as, imagine if the head of the FBI was protecting the people that he was supposed to be investigating. That's the equivalent. The jury in New York deliberated under tight security for 3 days before they reached the verdict. Genaro Garcia Luna faces 20 years in prison. His lawyers say that the charges were based on lies from criminals who wanted to punish him. All right, let's pause on this very fast. I started thinking about if you were on the jury that was going to be deciding the fate of the guy who was living a double life and was the legal person who was protecting drug cartels. Do you want to be on that jury? I mean, eventually, I assume your identity would be found. I don't think I want a guy who was protecting the Sinaloa drug cartel, as this guy was. I don't want to be on his list of a list of people, or on the Sinaloa drug cartel list of people. And the more I thought about that, I wonder what these people were told when it came to, hey, you're going to be on the jury that deliberates this guy's case. And I wonder if there were any people who said, well, HDR devices on every paramedic unit. The program is being paid for from a $1.5 million grant to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and $240,000 from the LA County Fire Foundation. The fire department expects to start using the devices by the middle of the year. Officials say the department responds to more than 400,000 calls a year and more than 5,000 are cardiac arrest emergencies. Jeff Mark, KFI News. The man convicted of killing rapper Nipsey Hussle is expected to get life in prison when he's sentenced. He's due in court this morning. A jury in July found Eric Holder Jr. guilty of first-degree murder. He was also convicted of 2 counts of attempted voluntary manslaughter. Holder shot the Grammy-nominated hip-hop star in 2019 outside Nipsey Hussle's clothing store on Boston Avenue in South LA. And you've heard of pay-per-view, right? Well, now some restaurants are turning to pay-per-view. On the heels of the success of subscription services, all restaurants are experimenting with them to find ways to create a steady source of revenue in a post-pandemic world. Panera offers unlimited beverages for $12 a month, 2 of 10, 3 delivers for a $7 subscription. Others offer monthly meal takeouts or free appetizers each time a subscriber comes in. Personal finance app Rocket Money says in 2022, the average person in the U.S. paid for nearly 7 subscription services, streaming, wine trucks, spas, car washes, skincare, and more, up from 4 in 2019. The new streaming KFI News. Money. Then I just joined Xbox subscription service for iPhone use. I think going to next week. But sometimes, if you frequently play those, and you do crunch some numbers, and it sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like a lot. So there's a fact of it. If you look at what you're getting out of it, and maybe some of the deals or some of the discounts that you're getting, whether it's the coffee or the living or whatever it happens to be, sometimes it is a smarter way if you use people. They're looking at how it's going to impact the world.
You can, though.
Well, we come back. We're going to contact with TFI's tech reporter, Rich Camaro, to a couple of things. Sony has launched VR headsets. How is this one going to shape up and how much will it cost? We'll talk about that.
On top of that, I'm fucking hilarious. But then you're going to look stupid and going to look in front of everybody. You look like a dumbass.
And I want to know what that means. So we'll get into that with him in just a second. Well, let's get back to your guy now, Robert.
It's a wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're going to congratulate come off of the 15 related, often on the breaks, all the way to about Pacific. And he went down to the 60 busy as well, heading into Ontario for a roll down in towards the South Central. This is partially in effect from earlier exposures on the cases of West Africa, where the closing now picked up between Euclid and Mountain all over. But actually, we get very well.
Like we used to have the class on where it was like a series and it would help us to notice that.
They're walking highway. Look at that into drive. It's over the way from Hawaii. They're walking itself is also
Yeah.
Clarifying the guy will get to go faster on Kentucky. In Southern California, another massive rate increase. Declare your energy independence from the utility company. If you've ever thought about going solar, you must go solar right now. You can go solar with Temper Solar, your local and veteran-owned solar contractor. They'll get the job done with a free decor and honor. Imagine no money out of pocket and no payments until 2024. That's no utility bill and no payments all year. Keep your money in your pocket and go solar American style with Temper Solar. Worried about blackouts? Tesla Powerwall and Enphase batteries are in stock. Call 877-211-5591. Not sure about your roof? Temper's an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor. Upgrade to Owens Corning 50-year warranty for free. Grab the 30% solar federal tax credit. $500 downloadable coupon, $500 off for military and first responders. Plus, 0 down, 0% interest and 0 payments until 2024. For all offers, call 877-211-5591. Or visit TemperSolaris.com. Our credit card 220-2023. PSW number 978-150. This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. You need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 50% off any order through Blindster's President's Day sale. Hurry, sale ends February 23rd. Blindster.com. It's Rob Tucker. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings. Former Laker Russell Westbrook is expected to clear waivers today, which paves the way for him to join the Clippers. The Lakers welcome the Warriors tomorrow. The Clippers host the Kings on Friday. The Rams hired Titans assistant Dave Blackburn as their special teams coordinator. And spring training games get underway Saturday.
Money podcast with Rabbi is releasing every Tuesday. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. Football and betting. The Even Money podcast. Contact us at 1047-781. We're on some homeowners today. We fix together. One of our team with Even so we help you present breakdowns by performing 6 critical adjustments for just $129. Another one is more plug-in grants for just $80 with a 30-foot drain center. And we're on call 24/7, 365 days a year. And our drain clearing service is just $80. So nice at that price. Get a fair condition and funding. COUCTL.com. We do things the right way, not the easy way.
On the podcast, the last Soviet, last film, coming close, shows his own experiences of astronaut training and wrestling. Not such true, and tells the story of the final cosmonaut, a man trapped in space while his nation tumbles to the ground.
His name is very quickly. He's a Soviet cosmonaut, and he's known the world's only space station, the pride and joy of the USSR.
Listen to the last Soviet on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Seniors have to present Medicare care. If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. Never get out your Medicare number. They're going to get your number and put in a false name.
Just for what?
How do you detect Medicare fraud? Just like I check my credit card statement, I check my Medicare statement monthly.
If you check next time you see something that you know you forgot has done, you report it. Call the Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call 855-613-7080. If your business happened to survive COVID, it's still around, and you've had 5 or more employees that also survived COVID with your business, you actually are maybe eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. Do the math on that one. It's a refund of your taxes on loan at all. Selling getting your hands on the money. Lots of red tape, complicated stuff, and it's a federal bureaucracy. So let me suggest getrefinance.com. They are experts in the little-known payroll tax refund program. Have already returned $3 billion to businesses. I'm a fan why, because in another program, they returned my business a 6-figure refund. No charge up front, they share a percentage of the cash that they get. Businesses of all types can qualify, even though the CPP, nonprofit, had increases in sales. So to find out if your business qualifies, go to getrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions, getrefunds.com.
Double down on supportive relationships. We hope this communicational skills with friends and loved ones, their phones, video chats, weather rating, and age-appropriate social media. The Calhope Alliance is brought to you by Calhope.org. Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. Calhope can help. Access Calhope's free and secure mental health services. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at Calhope.org.
Alphabet Boys is a new podcast series that goes inside undercover investigations. In the first season, we're diving into an FBI investigation of the 2020 protest. It involves a cigar-smoking mystery man who drives a silver hearse. Saying this out is actually like a lot of good. But are federal agents acting bad guys or creative? Even if it's waiting for me to guess the date, the time, and then the theory is kind of the bad. Listen to Alphabet Boys on iHeartRadio app or wherever you hear podcasts. Do you get to make intelligent decisions? You don't have a successful society with a specific thing. Then you're going to have crazy people crashing on the sidewalk. So you got to decide what kind of place you want to live in. These are things beyond our control. We have to have the guts to take these people and lock them up. John and Ken. It's not complicated. There's nothing else to say about this. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Ooh, John Ken. Pick me. I have a stupid people story. KFI, episode 40 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Tell it to you when I tell Rich tomorrow here in a second. The National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning for the mountain areas of LA County. So this starts at 4 a.m. Friday until 4 in the afternoon Saturday. The mountains can see up to 5 feet of snow and wind gusts in excess of 55 miles an hour, but there are some parts of the mountains that could see 7 feet of snow. The rest of it could be windy, pretty wet conditions into the weekend. Now, parents packed the school board meeting in Upland to demand action in response to racist drawings that were given to a black student The girl's mom was one of many parents that addressed the board last night, complaining about how long it took the board to acknowledge what happened. Your statement, the superintendent's statement, didn't come out until this was presented to the media. Again, like Mr. Nelson said, it has been over 2 weeks. All right. What they said, what one of the guys said at Pepper Street Elementary is despicable. One said, "You're my favorite monkey." Another said, "You my favorite cotton picker." The school board president says they have a strict zero tolerance policy on any type of harassment or harassment. Saturdays are running to 2. Follow Rich on social media at Rich on Tech. His website is richontech.tv. These are people stories that I guess combines a little bit with sex. Okay, what's good? It's a new stupid trend on TikTok that found its way to Disneyland. It starts like this. So Disneyland has started to issue a safety warning. Everybody who gets on Guardians of the Galaxy, and you know, they sort of secure your seatbelt and then they just show the little yellow tab or whatever, you know, to pull up on it. Right. Okay. So apparently, idiots on TikTok are challenging others to not put on their seatbelt properly. Yep. So that you have that like crazy feeling. It's not like my stomach's not still there from the last time I rode the darn ride. But I guess what you want more of that feeling? You want to see how high you can fly? Yeah, when it drops 199-foot tall elevator drop ride, no thank you. But yeah, so this is what people are doing on TikTok and why Disneyland is having to issue additional, hey, make sure your seatbelt is fastened warning. Jennifer, as a parent of 2 young boys, that one of which watches a lot of these sports, yeah, the word challenge is the most hated term in my home. Because everything is a challenge to these kids. When I eat a hamburger without any ketchup, that's a challenge. When I drink 6 water for the day, that's a challenge. All these dumb challenges that you see on TikTok. This is the kind of stuff that's going to ruin our kids. I'm telling you, it's like, it's unbelievable. It's a virus. You know, I mean, it's well, I liken it back to the Triple Dog Dare You know, back in the Christmas story. And that was the thing of, hey, can you lick the, you know, the pole, metal pole while it's snowing outside and where your tongue gets stuck to it? Well, yes, it will. But you're right. I never even thought of the perils that parents face that way with that word challenge. Yeah. It's a routine on TikTok. It's a big difference here, Jennifer. A lot of this stuff is fake that they see. A lot of it's edited. And so the difference is they may have a different outcome than what really happens to it in real life. Yeah. So if you see your kids, your friend put their, you know, tongue on a cold pole, you're going to see it at first. It's like, but if you see TikTok and you see someone jumping over a giant, you know, whatever, train track, and then say, oh, I could try that, and you didn't realize it was edited or, you know, there's people doing transform, whatever. Yeah, it leads to a lot of problems. God bless you, Rick, for being a parent. I'll just keep my dog. I don't even deal with my dog, so we'll talk about that at the end of this segment. So first, let's start with the Sony VR headset. How is this one syncing up? What's it cost compared to competitors? So this is the first base available to PlayStation VR 2, and this is the you know, the second generation. So this has haptic feedback. It's got haptic feedback on the actual headset. You can feel things happening in the game. It's got 3D audio. It's got eye tracking, which is really important for knowing where you're looking in a game. It's also a bit more comfortable, slightly slimmer, and more compact than the first VR headset from PlayStation. You do need a PlayStation 5 to make this thing work. So not only is the device $550, Jennifer, but then you need the PlayStation 5, which is anywhere from $400 to $500. You're worth $1,000 to play these videos that are still very, you know, let's call them first generation, or maybe second generation. So this is for the diehards. You know, too, I think it's interesting the timing of this. So it's February 22nd. It's not that it came out right before Christmas, which is what a lot of these things want. You know, I think they want a longer runway for this, because this will last for, you know, this will be something that's supposed to be promoted the holidays. So I think that this time where developers can get their hands on it and make games and, you know, be folks from this price will be good over the next, you know, 10 months. All right, let's talk about these Google Chrome updates. What can we expect? So, you know, Google Chrome was popular web browsers, but it definitely has a reputation of being a memory hog and an energy hog on computers. And so now there's 2 new features
One is called Memory Saver, one is called Energy Saver. And the bottom line, all you need to know is that if you update the latest version of Chrome, which is 110, if you have a bunch of tabs open, you can leave them open now because Chrome will automatically put them to sleep in the background, kind of like the way the iPhone does it with apps. And then Energy Saver is just going to use less battery when your battery on your laptop gets lower. So kind of like a smartphone where you see that energy saving mode. Yeah, same thing. Now Chrome can do it. You're on an airplane and all clear. More battery. It'll go into that energy saver mode.
Okay, that sounds good. What about doing AI? I know you said that it is toned down significantly. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've heard the story. So Bing, is Microsoft's search engine. They have built in a version of ChatGPT, which is now in preview. I've been using it for the past week or so. It's very useful. It's a whole different way to search because you can ask it to write songs, play games, answer trivia, write you a letter, an email, whatever you need. But it kind of went off the rails when people used it for a very long time. So Microsoft has been toning it down, and they sort of limited there to 5 stats per day or 50 searches per day, which is kind of annoying because they cut off halfway through the day. Now they're upping that to 6 searches per day and 150 stats per day. So, they're just learning from this experience. We're still waiting for, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, which is Google, to unleash Bard to the world, which is their AI search. So we got a lot of AI search coming along there, so let's put it that way. It was a lot of fun, though.
Oh, yeah, I have not delved into it yet, but for the songwriting purposes, I love to dabble in that. I mean, I'm no Taylor Swift, but who is?
You don't need to be now, right? It'll do it for you. I did a birthday screening yesterday for a friend, and it's just, you tell it what your friend is into, it'll write on the greeting. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Bing.com/new if you want to try it, by the way.
Okay, awesome. I can't wait to try it. All right, and Rich, what I was saying is, if you go to my Instagram this morning, JJLKFI, or Jennifer Jones Lee on Facebook, you're going to see why my puppy, 7-month-old Betty White, the Golden Doodle, leaves for, or reform. Yeah, that was last night. I hear, from the cat, and I hear a thud. And I walk out there, and I think, oh, God, what's she done now? Literally, I threw my hands up in the air. She goes, lived with a trainer for 2 weeks starting today. And honestly, I could not get rid of that sweet Tasmanian devil fast enough.
Let me know if it works. I'll send my shit. Gotta run, guys.
Bye. See you later. That is KFI Tech Reporter Rich DeMiro. You can follow him on social media at Rich on Tech. 11 to 2 here on Saturday. And as he's the 30s, Leonard says he's going to be on KCRI this morning. So got weather's on KFI, and we've got a little bit of everything for you. So we've got a blizzard warning starting at 4 Friday morning until 4 in the afternoon Saturday. The mountains could see 5 feet of snow. We're going to have temperatures in the 40s and low 50s for the next couple of days. Could see some 30s overnight. Windy, chilly, and wet conditions all the way into the weekend. Let's get a look at your drive at BKFI in the sky now pass on 14.
Southbound side of the 14 just past Air Blossom Highway. The track over on the right side of the freeway is at Eastfield Drive, Forest Avenue. As always, we also really backing things up on Air Blossom Highway as you come away from 40th Street westbound headed towards the merge with a 416. We have a stalled party away on the westbound side of the 60 in South Almonte just before Peck Road in the center divider area, but it's causing a backup pressure on 7th Street, westbound side of the 10 starting to build a little bit as well through West Covina District towards the 605. KFI on the side. I'll switch there faster. I'm Thomas Bucky. Start the new year strong with a great deal on a new Toyota car, truck, or SUV. The most popular 2023 models are arriving now. The Bold Camry, stylish Corolla, sporty RAV4, the tough Tacoma, and powerful Highlander. Find a Toyota that's just right for you with the New Year's savings you don't want to miss. For all available offers, see the Toyota dealer today or visit Toyota.com.
Every new Toyota comes with peace of mind standards. That's because you get Toyota Care no-cost maintenance when you buy or lease a new Toyota. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first, as well as 24-hour roadside assistance and blackout protection. See your Toyota dealer for details and exclusions. Valid only in the U.S. and the last Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Neil Savika, with energy costs on the rise, old aluminum, wood, even vinyl windows can add to your electric and gas bill. So replace your inefficient
are gorgeous, and their teams take great pride in their work, and they give great energy-saving advice. The owners, Jane and Kathleen, they started American Vision Windows because they had a horrible experience replacing their own windows decades ago. Get the quality and value you deserve. And until 2024, 0% interest and 0 payments for 12 months plus free installation. CSLB number 778326. Trust the window companies that I trust, my family, my friends trust. American Vision Windows. Call today. Get that free estimate. 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Do you need blinds or shades? BlindShade.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 50% off any order during Blind Shade President's Day sale. Hurry, still on February 23rd. BlindShade.com.
Yeah. Visit QKtheater.org or call 833-422-4255. That's the dedication to treat COVID-19. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. Welcome to the 2000 News live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night for us. The curious Ron Steve has been struggling with his feet. His wife Michelle is trying to lead the rain, but still throws an elbow. He's leaning for the couch. You should get inspired. Absolutely, Bruce. Inspires a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. There's no mask and no hose. Guys, learn more at InspiredSleep.com.
Inspired is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspiredSleep.com. Experience one result. If you've been injured, AAC OPO wins. And iHeart Radio Station.
Download the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, video, and podcasts.
Wow, I'm listening to Howard Schultz talk about olive oil in the company, very much in the company on CNN, in the company, and Starbucks workers here.
Embracing this guy is a death sentence. You must
Oh, well, that's the thing on unions. This Williams talking unions.
like the all
He's saying that the next liquid gold in coffee is olive oil, and he is 100% sure that this is going to be an industry game changer. I don't know.
well, Howard Schultz is kind of like Bob Iger's business. He was CEO for a long time. They started successful. Left, started out running for president. That didn't work out. Came back as the company struggled. It's up and now. He came back really when this unionization move started, and Starbucks was trying to figure out what to do about that. But yeah, so he said he saw when he was in Italy that Italians drink a little olive oil, and I use the peanut butter stuff. Why not use a little olive oil? Here, and so they are now starting in Italy, and they're going to roll out to Southern California as their second market later this year. And you can even get it in like iced espressos. So I don't know, put it in, you can put it in
or whatever.
foam, I don't know. Or in lattes where they're going to steam it with oat milk. And, and who knows what the plasma and what, what it's going to taste like. I mean, he's not a stupid man. So, I don't know if this is some version of new Coke and it's going to fall flat, or if it's going to be very great if we could sit down.
Right before I brought it up, while we were still in the commercial break, I was talking about how it's like a tablespoon of olive oil basically added to, you know what? I'm going to do it right now. I have my coffee in front of me. This is my regular coffee. I'm going over the kitchen. I'm going to put a little olive oil in here, all right? I'll count it like a tablespoon. Oh, it's kind of all, like a oil slip on the top. Let me just... Yeah, and what do you feel? I don't like it, but let me... Try it. What do you think?
I'm curious if you
Okay, here's what I think.
know what happened if you
Oh, if you think it's
Well, I'm not going to shake my coffee.
Well, no, like on
I would say,
stuff to give it like a little like.
oh yeah, like a show, like oatmeal something. Yeah. Okay, so here's the verdict. You can smell it more than you taste it. It adds a little olive oil smell, but it does give it a little bit more of a silky, not really tasting it at all. But because you can use it,
How about the Dolphin?
a little bit of a,
So,
so there you have it. All right, well, I actually have right here in front of me, everybody can see it now in the studio anyway. I have my Starbucks vanilla latte right here, and I'm hoping we actually have some in the kitchen because I would love to go try this. But I don't think I could get past the smell. Sometimes the smell factor is the thing that will turn you away, and I just don't, I don't know. I look forward to that. Yeah, pure coffee smell. Yeah, I don't, maybe like Tyler says, if you feel that somehow it's more intuitive. I have something like that because I thought they still had some, so I got it all up. And pumpkin spice and olive oil is not a good nose. I'll tell you that right now.
I think you mentioned oatmeal, so I'm curious if maybe the oat milk mixing with the oil in itself and the coffee addition kind of makes it that luxurious aspect that they're attributing.
Yeah, you can notice a little difference in the texture of the coffee. If you're, I don't know how I would, I don't know, it's a full milk versus skim milk kind of thing. So there you have it. That's done. I love it. All right, well, thank you for taking one for the team because I didn't know if I really wanted to ruin my, $5 vanilla latte this morning. So thank you for doing it on your Starbucks pumpkin spice on your Trader Joe's pumpkin spice. Oh yeah, this is not $5. Let's talk about the Dow. Holy cannoli, down nearly 700 points yesterday. It's like every time I was giving you the report yesterday, it just kept going down and down. Why? Well, because everybody thinks that it's going to raise rates more than they thought, and the market hasn't really bottomed. A lot of people thought maybe the market bottomed in October or was coming back off it. But usually the market doesn't bottom until after the Fed stops raising rates. And now everybody thinks, a lot of economists think the Fed's going to be more aggressive than they were. And you've got big companies like Home Depot and Walmart now warning that their profits, their earnings this year won't be as high as last year. And so everybody freaks out. Well, this morning the futures are a little flat, slightly up, so maybe there will be some bargain hunters out this morning. But the next even if there are, is that only temporary? All right. Speaking of temporary, do you remember when we started the pandemic and you could not find an RV under $1 million? I swear, I'm not exaggerating, but they were, off the rails. I remember seeing RVs that would fit in, like a neighbor's, field, literally when I was a kid, with a for sale sign on it. And it stood there for a year or something like that. Nobody was interested. Then the pandemic hit. Can't get your darn hands on one. Now where are we when it comes to, say, Camping World and RV sales overall? Yeah, Camping World has reported that sales of new RVs fell 14% in the last quarter. Used RVs sales fell 8%. They actually lost money. They were unprofitable because of higher costs, including higher wages, and so now it's laying off people and preparing for a slowdown. Here's my question, Ben. Those things are always expensive, no matter what the economy is. And yet so many people, and I know a lot of people who are no longer home, they're homeless. Listen to Clarify, because I've taken calls from them before when I filled in. When were they able to afford the motorhome or RV that they're now living in? Did they see the end coming and, so everything you get it? Because those things are expensive. And I see them, they're now not as cheap anymore, but at one time they cost money. I just wonder that. Yeah, and also with gas prices the way they are for people, who literally are calling them. Oh, yeah. You can see why they're not moving those puppies. It's too expensive to move them. I like that. Always, I'm saying this to Johnny Can on a couple weeks. I'm going to take Paul. How did you get that motor home? I don't know the process of what happened. I'm curious. I look forward to that segment. Okay, speaking of segment, the little segment of the high-speed trail, or the high-speed train that was going to go basically in the Central Valley from, I don't even know, Podunk to Bakersfield. Now that could go from California to Vegas. I'd get on board if that were to be the case. And because it's not the state of California, because the state of California, Jerry Brown thought we wanted to go from Florida to Bakersfield, and that we wanted to take it closer. No. We've heard for years companies promising their new high-speed trains from Southern California, Vegas. One company now really sounds like it's going to do a bright line out of Florida. I've done stories on them before. They're trying to break ground possibly later this year on a 218-mile system along Interstate 16 with electric trains that will go 200 miles an hour. Don't know what tickets will cost, but the company has a $10 billion investment, 35,000 construction jobs, 1,000 permanent jobs. They just reached an agreement with several rail unions to do the work. And I told you, I've been going on before, that out of Florida, they have two there. They built their train cars, at least the ones in Florida. You don't have to believe it. In California, outside Sacramento, yes, there's a senior train building facility in California still manufactured. Is where their customers. Yeah. Okay, so in a way, though, anybody who has driven that ride from, especially on a Sunday, coming back from Vegas, back into Southern California, oh my gosh, I'd take a 200-mile-an-hour train any day. I don't think I'd care what the cost is. Well, I think it's what is it called compared to Southwest is the bottom line. The Southwest because they're, 45 minutes for you guys to get for that program and all that. So, yeah, the key will be what they charge. But yeah, man, driving to Vegas or driving back, forget it. Yeah, Michelle and I are going at some point, probably in the spring. And you should be the one who comes up with this great plan. Michelle, are you listening? Where you leave at a certain time, and then you're like, you come back at a certain time. Oh no, you won't share her secret. I hear. Nope. But the thing is, her and the slot machine, baby. I mean, that woman never loses. No, and she does this little dance thing when she sits at the machine, when she gets her venue. People will like surround her. I think just because she's having so much fun and she's so positive when she sits to them. It's all a thing with Michelle. I want video. Oh yeah, or go with us. That's what I was gonna suggest. Yeah, you got it. Thanks. Girl trip. I'm in. All right, Jane Wells. See you with Jane Wells at Jane Wells on social media. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, Jane. Oh, she lost her, or she maybe she did. Oh, you know what? I got Michelle out there on the sideline, and she's like giving her the secret. Hey, there's exactly where you go. And there's a come back. Oh, bye, Jane. You guys for the tidbit below. Let me get back to my olive oil coffee. Okay, you really want to. You take one for the team, Dave. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk with ABC's Jim Ryan. Olive oil coffee? 13 families. It's really juicy. Who had kids who were totally juicy. I love it. The Uvalde shooting. Claim that they have been betrayed by a guy in Houston. It's not like life has not already been cruel enough to them, but now there's a guy who they claim is kind of training on them this second time. We'll get into that in just a second. Right now, let's get into your drive. We've got a stall in South Almaty out of 60. Here's what's up on the 60 just past Road. The stall car wasn't in third of our GPS. The shop got it just off his cleared off the way. Stolen front, just like off the end of the boulevard. 30th is over on the northbound side of the 5 freeway. Go ahead and stand there. I think it's a good idea. So, Swanson and again from the 710 heading 4th Street. And the 10th freeway goes down to the 160 northbound. South LA, I believe the ancestry is going all the way downtown, passing the 10. The side up to there faster, like other truckies. Someone uses your toilet and overflows. But I don't know. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is for your guests and for you? Hello, I'm John Napoleon, founder of Rooter Hill Plumbing. You're hosting a party, the water's on the floor, and your guests have to tell you that the toilet is backed up. And worst of all, you have to tell your guests that I shudder when I tell the story because it happened to me. Can you imagine? I own Rooter Hill Plumbing and my toilet overflows. Talk about me. Well, the truth is, it can happen to anyone. And the solution is to call 866-DRAIN-77. That's what I did, and our plumber was here within the hour. Not because I'm the owner, but that's just what we do. I'm so confident that you'll be satisfied with our services that I put my cell phone number on report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 50% off any order during Blindster's President's Day sale. Hurry, stay on February 23rd. Blindster.com.
This is the Bowl champion, Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Former Laker Russell Westbrook is expected to clear waivers today, which paves the way for him to join the Clippers. The Lakers walk up the Warriors tomorrow. The Clippers host the Kings on Friday. The Rams hired Titans assistant Dave Blackburn as their special teams coordinator. Spring training games get underway Saturday. The Angels beat the Mariners. The Dodgers battle the Brewers. I'm Dan Kowalski.
Style runs in the family. Athleticism runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Learn more at MBUSA.com or test drive one at your local dealer.
Water softener. Softener that's without filtering water. Old-fashioned concrete. There's a better solution. Water from every tap without the filters removed. If you live in an area that bans water softeners, Light Source is the perfect choice. Call 800-803-2696 with a factory rep. LightSourceWater.com. Light Source tastes and feels the difference. On the podcast Really Know Really, join best friends Jason Alexander and Peter Tobin along with experts, newsmakers, and celebrities in a search for answers to life's most baffling, intriguing, and annoying questions. You know, those things that make you go, really? Really? I think there was a 17-year-old in Rhode Island who ran a candidate that was a rapist. Really? Really? That's news to me. That's Really Know Really right there. Really Know Really. Listen to Really Know Really on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
So, you and I have talked about solar max technology for 40 years now.
Yeah. Listen, I did a ton of research back in the day. SolarMax was clearly the best. SolarMax is going to build a custom solar system like they did for me with the most innovative technology. All of it's under one roof, right out here in Southern California, Riverside specifically. They're going to provide you with the highest quality solar panels, inverters, and battery systems in the industry.
And you know what? Now is the best time to get solar because you're going to get more of the spring.
Stay big, SolarMax, and their 12-panel system for $0 down and $59.99 a month, the most powerful solar panels on the market.
Plus, you want to lock in your NEM 2.0 benefits by April 13th.
That's right. Call SolarMax, start saving money by spring on their 12-panel system for $0 down, $59.99 a month.
Now, pound 250 under selling to get keyword SolarMax, pound 250 SolarMax, or go to SolarMaxTech.com.
Oh, man. Really? They told us what the standard. They don't have it. This brings everywhere. You can say it right. Almost forgot. Number 5.
If you want both advertise and magazine voted high success.
Number 4.
It's the time for the book. The table games with the book art and you can get $100 scholarship. Good typing out.
3.
UFC 285. That's not why. That's one of them. And join the process of your partner. And Sideline Sports Bar. Watch for it.
And the number 2.
Then give to the winner. You can look at the deciders to earn 500 points on the work card. 27 or 28.
And the number 1 reason.
When for time, you can earn up to $100 in diamond credits just by playing slots with your work card.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good time.
Hi, I'm Rabbi. Your transportation, your territory, or candidate may be able to help find and cover the next to the communication data you find Center.org.
Portions of the following program will be recorded. I got PTSD from Barney. White Dick with Barney. Barney song, Barney costume, Barney event, Barney skit. And I said, okay, I am done with Barney. This was last year. I think you got hard. Live 6 to 9 a.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. don't think I've ever despised Tyler more than watching him sort of rock out the Barney song. Barney does not flat, Tyler. Because they want to I've got it for Joan, please. Some of the stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. It's weird how this news girl murdered her technical advisor on the show. The man accused of killing Bishop David O'Connell in hockey at a high school in court. Carlos Medina was arrested Monday. His wife worked as O'Connell's housekeeper. Medina is expected to be arraigned in court this morning. But the charges against him are not known. Also, we are keeping an eye on this crazy storm that's headed our way. National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning for the mountainous areas of LA County. It starts at 4 in the morning on Friday. Last Saturday, I was talking with the National Weather Service meteorologist Andrew Rourke a little bit ago, and he was saying essentially, if you need to go over the grapevine, don't do it, or at least today, because starting tomorrow is when the rain and snow is going to pick off and be really bad Friday into Saturday. Jim Ryan, good morning to you. I know that you guys get wild weather there in Texas, but here in California, when I was talking with meteorologist Andrew Rourke, he said I think he worked at the National Weather Service now since the early 90s. And it's back in the 80s when they last remember a storm of this magnitude, this cold and this blizzardy and snowy coming into Southern California. And it's unprecedented for most of us.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had extreme winds here in the last couple of hours. I thought the place was going to blow down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, rain coming down that even tossed down. So, yeah, I've been sitting here all the way variety of weather right now.
Oh, yeah, and I saw earlier there's something like this was not to travel coast to coast. It doesn't matter. If you are traveling any way, shape, or form, train, plane, automobile, whatever, there's a good chance wherever you're either going to is going to be closed or your flights are going to be canceled or delayed. So, just a heads up. This is the saddest story coming out of Uvalde with the families who feel like not only were they victimized when their kids were part of the school shooting massacre, but now you've got a second betrayal on top of it.
Yeah, betrayal is a good way to look at it. Was the crime committed here? Even not clear at this point whether there was one, but certainly people are feeling like they're owed something. A guy named Nathan Fawley, he goes by Nathan Fowler, and he runs some youth motivation programs in Houston, a nonprofit over there. Well, he came into Uvalde after the shooting and said, look, I'm going to put together a massive fundraising event. We'll raise $13 million for Uvalde, $50 million for the families of the victims. And it'll be a 2-day event in February of 2023. We'll have a soccer tournament. We're going to have a 2-day concert festival and featuring Justin Bieber, Bad Bunny, who else was doing great. So, yeah, so big promises were made. He said that he raised, that he had sold 4,500 tickets to this event. But it didn't happen. There was no event. If it would have been this month, 2 weeks ago, that would have happened. It didn't happen. And now families in Uvalde are wondering, what's the deal here? Were they ripped off? They haven't lost anything except a little bit of hope that there would be this big windfall coming to them through the fundraiser. But if Baller did get his time sell 4,500 tickets, what happened to the money? Where's Baller now? Nobody seems to be able to find it.
It feels like the guy who did the Fire Festival. All these promises were made. It's got that same feel to it.
Exactly what it reminded me of. I saw that documentary, and it seems to be the same kind of thing. The mayor in Uvalde said, he seems almost willing to give Nathan Baller the benefit of the doubt, saying that he had these big plans. He said he had campaign based on a beer budget, and that nothing came together for him. And it seems very much like the first thing that came to mind for me was the Fire Festival. They had a documentary about the Woodstock 99 that was supposed to come together, and it kind of fell apart too. So, was there incompetence? Probably. Was there criminal intent? We don't know that yet.
Yeah, intent might not have been there, but what it reminded me of is you had a lot of influencers, and I'm not saying that they were any part of this, but even they were being, I don't remember if they were sued specifically, or at least that people were going after them like, hey, the whole reason that I gave money to this was because of you. Your face was in front of it. This guy's face was in front of it. His promises were behind it. And so who gave him money based on, these big promises that they thought maybe they weren't even necessarily going to a Bieber or Drake concert. That wasn't what was pushing them behind it. But the motivation might have been, hey, I just want to help the people let them party.
Right, yeah, and that's what he said he wanted to get done. The one influencer in all of this was Nathan Ball himself. His Instagram account, you'll see him standing there with all sorts of luminaries from Houston. So he's there with the mayor of Houston, with the county judge of Houston, with all sorts of celebrities and folks that whose cross he has, or has to cross. And so he was the one really with the cachet. He went over there to Uvalde and made these promises, and it's just nothing seemed to materialize, nothing seemed together. So the one influencer on board was Nathan Baller, but you're right, there are a lot of promises made, and now what happens with if there was money raised, what happens to Baller?
All right, thank you, Ben. This is definitely one I want to follow up on, just because I, like you, I watched the Fire Festival documentary, and I was like, oh my gosh, and Billy Washington, he's out now, right?
Yeah.
He's out of prison, but, who trusts that guy anymore? And all right, see you later. KFI and KOSC HD2 Los Angeles Orange County. And can I just applaud you wake-up call listeners who went to the Instagram, JJLKFI this morning, for the picture of Betty White the puppy sitting in the middle of my dining room table last night. She leaves for reform school today. This dog is, on one hand, the sweetest dog maybe I've ever had. And on the other hand, he's the Tasmanian devil. He's a lunatic. I usually do really good. Somebody asked me, why aren't you cleaning this out? Because I give up on this. I got nothing. And so she goes to reform school today, and there's a giant sign that you'll see above my dining room table window. It says, the best memories are made gathered around the table. And somebody wrote, the best memories are made gathered on top of the table. And I thought, this is why I share my life with you, the wake-up call listeners, because you add levity to my lunacy that happens in my house. Still got weather from KFI. Blizzard bug conditions starting Friday in the mountains at 4 a.m. until 4 in the afternoon on Saturday. Cold, windy, chilly conditions. Now it looks like we could have that snow level still down to about 1,000 feet. So just check where you are and see what elevation you're used to that, because you too might see some snow in Southern California. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Let's check out that stall on the 57.
That is equal strength at northbound down to 57, just before traffic. The stall big is on in the two right lanes, except you guys are starting around Orange Store. You also have a slow drive on the westbound side of the 91 leaving Riverside. Westbound 91 slowing down starting around Tyler Sports. Continuing and again from the 15 all the way to the 241. And northbound side of the 215 starting to build as well through Maria Valley from about Alessandra towards University. The southbound side of the 215 still looking for towards the 91. KFI, the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Bucky. I really pay attention to real estate and happen to love the topic. And I've been looking at the prices of stuff. And the value of your home, well, you're looking at this with some money out of the equity in your home. There's going to be less equity next year than it is this year, which means you're going to take out less money. So if you're looking to take out $75,000 or more from your home, maybe it's time to pull the trigger. Then I'm going to suggest HNS Capital will help you borrow that money. And boy, are they good at what they do. I've done 2 mortgages with HNS Capital over the years, so I have no problem.
Hollywood K with iHeart Hollywood Spotlight. The BAFTAs have been handed out, and the winners across the pond have made the Oscars more unpredictable than ever. All flight on the Western Front made a lot of noise with 7 wins, including the award for Best Film. Elvis actor Austin Butler is back in the game after winning the BAFTA for Best Actor. Kate Blanchett won Best Actress for her role in Tar, and the first actor wins Netflix from the Academy Award. It would be her third. The Best Director category has 100 success. Edward Berger won the BAFTA for all players listening from. Daniel Flying, Daniel Steiner won the top prize for everything everywhere all at once. Variety Clinton Davis says, we are witnessing one of the most competitive Oscar races in quite some time. And with the PGA and SAG Awards just days away, Oscar predictions entirely. I'm Ellen K. This is Hollywood Spotlight.
This is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell and Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell and Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years. So I can help you. Contact Cordell and Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our first California attorneys. 1455 Brady Road, 500, San Diego, California, 92108. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Kim Connor, Chevrolet, Costa Mesa. We're offering President's Day savings all month long on Silverados, Suburbans, Tahoes, and affordable electric Volt EVs at ConnorChevrolet.com. Find new roads at Connor Chevrolet, the Orange County original since 1964.
Win Las Vegas welcomes you to Awakening, a new theatrical experience created by award-winning artists and mixed by spectacular sound.
And this is KFI AM 640 on the iHeartRadio app. Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's cold this morning. Going to get colder. 43 degrees stepping outside my house. Thank you very much. And Yahoo. It's going to get, well, we may be setting records, as a matter of fact. Snow down to 1,000 feet. You never see that. All right, first, good morning. There's Jennifer. Good morning.
Hello, Handle. I beat you. It was 42 when I stepped outside.
All right, well, it's getting a little crisp there. Wayne, good morning. Good morning. And there's a spot. For what? The lowest temperature where you live.
That's out of our house.
Well, yeah, I guess there is.
I
was 43. You were 42. 42.
No, yeah, Jennifer wins.
Well, so far, Michelle,
I was 46.
oh, Michelle's way out of it. And Tyler, 39 degrees.
Oh,
I was just talking to Michelle before we get started on Handle on the news this morning, and she wanted to do something. She was talking about Bucharest, and the Bucharest 9 is putting the show together. And I said, hey, now here is the religious expert in terms of Bucharest. That's when you Catholics take those wafers. Up in Bucharest, Eucharist, 56. Come on, what's the difference?
the holy day, please stop it. That's when the back on
Is it today? Ash Wednesday? You were fast. I didn't know that you were fasting. All we talked about your entire day was food. And what happened? First of all, I don't fast. I said if you were fast. You said if. Matter of fact, Yom Kippur morning, I wake up and I go immediately to the deli. I celebrate the day of fasting with bagels and lox, and I go crazy. That's pretty sorry, everyone else did. Correct. And I break the fast with break fast. You can't break it fast if you're not fasting. It's very, very well said. Okay, so anyway, just I didn't know today was Ash Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, and it's Tuesday after fasting.
Oh, yeah, well, no, that's after Fat Tuesday, so it's not
That's
fast.
yesterday. We had both.
I understand. Remember when we were talking about political correctness? Yeah, we can't say fast anymore. We have to say slightly overweight Tuesday.
Yes. So yesterday we spoke to our regular food stuff, and then today you fast, and you get your action.
Oh, okay. And you have to do a food session, right?
Yeah.
You can't just walk in and grab your thumb
An ashtray,
and then put the cross on there.
you gotta go to
So okay. Are you gonna do it?
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I make fun of a lot of religions, but I'm going to stay away from.
Yeah, I saw the weekly schedule. Watch out, Zoroastrian. The tomorrow's coming after you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Enough for religion, although I'm sure women. No, we're not. I don't think we're going to make that. All right. Do we have time to cover for sure? So let's do it. It's time for Handle on the News with Jennifer, Wayne, and me, and Lee. Sorry. It's the weather, so I immediately refer to our weather person, Jennifer. Give us the latest.
Michelle gave us a great note on this. 65 million people across the U.S. are under a winter weather alert. And actually signed up to that. 75 million of 29 states.
And usually, I don't care, but for some some reason, this time around, I actually, my heart is going after those people. And you know why? Because you're one of them. That is correct, because this time around, I'm one of them. And that is the case. It's stem to third. It's coast to coast, whatever you want to say. So we've got in the Midwest, that's where they've got blizzard conditions, and they've got snow falling and whatever. When I looked at their forecast, I went, hey, we can copy and paste that for here too. Because that's what we've got headed our way. So we've got wind and rain. Actually, today, if you can believe it, is the tail end of that first storm. So last night, if you had wind and you had some sort of mist and drizzle in your area, that was the first storm. It's the big boy that's coming in on Friday. So it'll be the rain and the wind and the snow, and that's when the snow level should drop to 1,000 feet.
You know, also, this is the first time that I can remember where a cold storm, certainly of this magnitude, went from the Mexican border up to Canada.
He's not even been reporting things that storm left over concerns that the seeds could affect their drug testing. And former President Jimmy Carter is said to be surrounded by loved ones. He spends what they are calling his final days at his home in Plains, Georgia. So that weather from KFI, as we were talking about, is going to start to get cold. So temperatures today are going to be in the upper 40s to low to mid 50s. Then we've got more rain coming in and wind later tonight into tomorrow, and the big bulk of the storm could be Friday into Saturday. This report is brought to you by Audible. From the Southern California Toyota dealer shopping center, let's go places like the Times.
Let's go beyond the west side of the 10. Rainy crash just before full coverage, taking away the carpool and the left lane. Already backing up almost to the 67 freeway. You're all just well past the back, all the way through to the 605. Westbound side of the 60, busy out of the city of industry. From the 2nd Avenue towards the 605 as well. And now starting to see the latest building through Linwood on the westbound 105 from the 7th all the way to Crenshaw Boulevard. Some facts about water softeners. Softeners have sodium without. So here's a better solution. Light source systems provide filtered, delicious from every tap without the filters or maintenance. And if you live in an area that bans water softeners, Light Source is the perfect choice. Call 800-803-2696. Speak with a factory rep. LightSourceWater.com. Light Source thinks and feels the difference.
This will history month and everything. UNCF uplifts the history and culture of the African American community and salutes the past, present, and future of everyone of our backgrounds who have made great contributions to the prosperity and stability of our nation. This month, make a gift to support the youth generation of Black activists, leaders, artists, business owners, and educators. Go to UNCF.org/donate today, because money is a terrible thing to do. Think big on pasta night at Whole Foods Market. Rails pasta sauce, frozen entrees, and pizza for 32% off. With time, February 28th. Stock up and take the time to shop in-store online. Terms apply.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain, like knee pain or shoulder pain in your hips or back?
Hey, Gary and Kim, and you don't have to go through another year in pain. Next Generation Pain Management has arrived. Here it is QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Now, regenerative medicine is an all-natural process that uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body, putting them directly into your achy joint and restoring and repairing that damaged tissue.
We're talking lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Pro athletes have been doing this for years. Now you can too.
QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics in America, and now they're here with regenerative solutions that can get you moving again pain-free.
If you are sick of living with pain from arthritis or injury, call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for a free consultation.
3 locations: Glendale, Mission Viejo, and Orange. Call 213-997-PAIN. QC Kinetics. 213-997-PAIN. That's 213-997-PAIN. Our iHeartRadio podcast award for that. It's the biggest night of the year for podcast fans. Get ready to celebrate your favorite. Go to iHeart.com/podcast awards. Check out the nominees for podcast of the year or podcast award. Also, the Audible Audio Pioneer Award from groundbreaking prices shoot to the moon, and people start screaming, "Here comes Newsom and his empty head." Well, we're going to investigate here. Maybe why gas prices, why going up, and it's part of the game they play. John and Kim, they've been active collectively for over 20 years now. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI, and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Good morning. Handle here in the morning crew. Wednesday, February 22,
cold one. The cold snap's coming in big time.
No, she's gonna go
Let's
and
go
get some
back
of
to
the
the
dunk.
angle on news. Jennifer, Wayne, and you.
No, she.
Well, if you were watching the stock market yesterday, you probably some courses. Because once you hit about down 400, and I don't even want to know how low it's going to go. But it's got nearly 700 points, and this is all because people are all worried that the Fed will keep interest rates higher for longer. And that's because the economy is doing too good. They are doing too well. Unemployment down to 53-year low, inflation dropping, but not dropping fast enough. So if it's going to be interest rates going up, or dropping like it kind of that's very this time around. So there's movement of thought amongst economists that this 2% target for inflation is too low. We're simply shooting for a target that's too low, and really we should be happy with 3 or 4% inflation as a normal target. Yes, that's what I heard too. Well, we're so used to the last 2 years skewed everything. 3% money. 3% money is unheard of. Yeah. It is free money if you borrow it. And people don't understand that. So now we're looking at 7% mortgage rate for okay? It should be about 5, because it's 5% mortgage rate. That means everything's coming along at a reachable rate. I mean, I guess 3%. I mean, that's just unheard of. So how much money cost during the Civil War era when you went out and borrowed money? 6%. Okay. And that was, what did I tell you? There certainly wasn't a whole lot of inflation going on. Maybe there was. Things were very dear at that time. Okay, let's move on. Well, I don't know usually how many parents come to an Upland Unified School District meeting. But last night's meeting was packed with parents who are very upset about some stuff that went on at Pepper Street Elementary School. Here are some of the things that went on. There's a black student there, and another student kept making drawings and giving them to this student. One of them saying, "To my favorite cotton picker," saying what was on them, but I guess it is. Another one saying, "You're my favorite monkey." Yeah, pretty offensive. And then a group of girls, prostitution, sexual exploitation, human trafficking, a month-long investigation down in the San Diego area. They called it Operation Better Pathways, and it has resulted in about 48 arrests, the identification of 16 trafficking victims. The investigators conducted 17 separate stings and described situations where some parts in San Diego and the national cities, the two cities where they did this, where dudes, and I'm sorry, maybe there was a woman in there, but probably not, it was all dudes, lined up. This would be like the corner where lined up like it's a fast food truck. That's how the well put. That is very descriptive. And so they're going crazy. This is more than just a hooker standing out on the street. No, this is organized, terrible sexual trafficking. Yeah. Half of those sex trafficking victims that they identified were children. It is, when you look at the stats, I mean, we used to think of sex trafficking as, a rare, sort of outlier kind of thing. It is so pervasive. It is so huge in terms of the numbers. It's stunning to know how horrific this is. All right, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back. We've got more. In the meantime, Jennifer Jones, Great Live, KFI 24-hour newsroom. Police have been landed in Virginia Beach. The state council passed a rule last night prohibiting the sale, use, and distribution of any type of party balloon in public places. The council says it helps to reduce single-use plastics, reduce litter on beaches and parks, and prevent power outages from the balloons getting caught on power lines in the area. The ban goes into effect next year, and violations can result in fines starting at $100. As we were talking about, the Southern Baptist Convention is ousted Saddleback Church and OC for ordaining women. The church is one of 5 congregations found not to be in, as they put it, friendly cooperation with the convention because they have a female functionary in the office of pastor. A man in O'Keefe been found guilty of trying to rape a 75-year-old woman in a church parking lot in his husband. 26-year-old Fernando Valdoc did a few days after the attack in 2020. The woman was found unconscious and partially undressed in some bushes. She had extensive facial injuries. Police say the man and a 16-year-old also stole the woman's car. The city council in San Diego and Poway has approved formally ending the nearly 3-year COVID-19 emergency. It ends next Tuesday at the same time as when it ends for California. And a rich teenager is helping people play hooky on St. Patrick's Day. Tell me more. Jameson Irish Whiskey is offering a life-size cardboard cutout of you so you can fool your bosses and go out drinking. The company says that Jameson gets decoys for when the boss forgot use of an SDCO or St. Patrick's Day time off. You upload your face, select an outfit for your duplicitous doppelganger, and choose the 5'6" to 5'11" version to set up at your workstation while you get sloppy. 1730 is the cost because Jameson was founded in 1780. They were sold out when I tried to get one. Check them out, but they say they're restocking. Michael Crozier, KFI News. Like I look at you to go on right now and do the same thing, and I don't even think. We'll get sports with rain. Andre Kopitar was the punch slap for the LA Kings as they started a road trip to the match against the Minnesota Wild. Christopher Jersey shot, climbs up the post, rebound, score! Andre Kopitar bangs in, and the Kings get one with 20 seconds remaining. Unfortunately, the Wild had already scored twice, and the Kings lost 2-1. The Anaheim Ducks have lost 6 in a row. Yesterday's score against the Tampa Bay Lightning, 6-1. I'm Wayne Resnick.
Spider-Man, how you doing, Spider?
Sell your house.
Hey, Don.
Because property values, of course, climbing, but not anymore. Now they're flat or they're starting to drop. All right, so time to sell your house, and you can list it with a broker. I told you about that. And you can pay 6%, and you can't do premium repair, and you can't be there when prospective buyers walk through. And the place has to be spotless during all of this time, and then negotiations and extras. There's a much easier way of doing it, and that's with directbuyers.com. First of all, you get a fair price. Let's start with that. And we're not talking long episodes here. You can take back for these things. And you don't claim paint repair. No one even walks through your house. That will get $2,000 back. Before closing, they have directbuyers.com. 844-242-SELL. Visit directbuyers.com. And it's a country website, and it still goes out. Because that's decoy. But I've been told by the crew, they're not. So that weather for KFI looks like temperatures are going to be super chilly for the next few days. Upper 40s to low to mid 50s for our highs. And then we got into the 30s and 40s overnight. We've got wind and rain and snow above, below, that is, 1,000 feet or at 1,000 feet. By Friday into Saturday, we also have blizzard conditions in the mountains, starting at Friday at 4 o'clock in the morning, lasting until 4 in the afternoon on Saturday. Let's get a look at your drive with DJFI in the sky. Oh, Jeff Ball, I would not want to be in the sky if I were you. Or not. Hey, man, DJFI in the sky is securely tethered to the ground. That's what I was going to say. You should take the weather reports and plan back in the summer. And you go, that's a great idea. There you go. All right, a little pickup with that on the valley. The usual stuff that we could do if we were leaking. Eastbound 101 getting slow to the 405 and the 405 is slow. Not quite at all. It's kind of normal stuff. No major problems. The one is a little bit of a problem. Are you giving away money here? Westbound 60 is that's before it's still a shoulder problem. It's bugging some days. It's not a big deal. One thing in Philip Farms is kind of unusual stuff. And I want to see the protein on the west side at home. That's the bottom of the hill. We can do this every day. I'm sure you know that. So the problem is cleared over to the shoulder. So it's kind of going up and over the hill. And that's just kind of normal stuff. Now, anything but normal. I want to get that for innocent out here. California, Nevada Drive. That's right. It's better for retard. The oxygen is closed in both directions between Nippon Road and State Route 40, eastbound towards the north on the side. That'll get you in the Henderson. But it's just blowing that's the one. But
dog and get hard. Please stay with it and be careful. Something's below it. Hey, if I'm shy, help us get through that faster. I'm shy. Go big on burgers at Fitness Market. Animal welfare is certified 90% lean ground beef, which is $4.94 per pound. With time, February 28th. Grab your stock so I can get the list and melt your cheese. In-store online. This is Nick Alexander from Alexander BMW. We're the only BMW dealer in SoCal to offer free flatbed pickup and delivery on all your factory scheduled maintenance. Schedule your appointments today. Call 800-800-NICK. And remember, Nick can't say no. And now, the top 7 reasons to visit the marketplace at Malona. Number 7.
Contact is open. They have used and Virginia production.
Number 6.
It's open. Try to keep the power and empty on the house.
Number 5.
Never ruin the dolphin.
Number 4.
Working walk up the dolphin. The best barbecue this side of Mississippi.
Number 3.
Mechanical Paul is open. It is unrivaled, innovative Italian fashion.
Number 2.
Three things is open. Sweet treats for the biggest sweet treats.
And the number 1 reason to go to the marketplace at Malona.
The marketplace is open. It's an elevated all-you-can-eat casino dining experience you've got to try today. The marketplace is open.
Malona Casino Resort and Spa. Malona. Good time.
Friends will be here soon, so start saving money with solar from SolarMax Technology.
Get a 12-panel system for $0 down and $59.99 a month. Plus, you want to lock in your NEM 2.0 benefits by April 13th.
Without down 250 and pay SolarMax with SolarMaxTech.com.
Who could it be? It's a leading night that you get right. He's lying from the 8th bedroom. It's another eventful night for the Curious Ron. Still throws an elbow. He's leaning for the couch. He's completely inspired. Absolutely, Bruce. Inspired with sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with a click of a remote. There's no mask and no phone. Guys, learn more at InspiredSleep.com.
Inspired is not for everyone. Talking about the sleep is right for you and your important safety information at InspiredSleep.com.
Homeowners, stop worrying about drinking harmful water. Get a purity and whole house water filtration and conditioning system for your family. Go to SparklandWater.com. For official rules and more information about content of this station, go to AFI-AM640.com/rules.
Live everywhere.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. AFI-AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Bill Handel and the Morning Crew. And let's dip up the business a little bit and get to some stories.
So you've got these very in Georgia now in the Trump recommendation passing the grand jury that was held. So these are the number of people that they say will be indicted in.
His name is Vivek Ramaswamy. He's a former biotech executive. He is a millionaire, and now he's North Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. And he is running on an title of the hearing is called Petroleum Windfall Profit Penalty. Will Californians get relief at the gas pump? And I guess they're going to try to grill some oil company people about the high cost of gas and whether or not they will price gouging. And I'm sure the oil representatives will fall to the floor and beg for forgiveness and confess their sins. That they price gouged us. Yeah, you think this is a little bit biased? This is a hearing to determine what did or did not happen. I think also it's to try to figure out whether we should impose a windfall profit penalty on oil companies when they make, and I'm doing finger quotes, too much money. Yeah, and I don't know how you do that. How do you figure out what the profit is? Because what they do is immediately funnel money into exploration or buying equipment or buying another refinery. And therefore, now what? We're building a refinery. Okay, that's not profit. So it's, yeah, so much fun.
If you have your car insurance through Geico or Mercury or AAA, I heard this morning, you might get a big old surprise when you open up your car insurance bill for the year. How about $100 more than it was last year? And that's because Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara approved some big rate hikes in California the last 6 months. And what these big companies did is they went to the insurance commissioner, like Geico and Mercury, and said, hey, people are driving faster, you've seen all the stats, they're getting in more crashes, even though they may have been off the road during COVID. But that meant that those who were on the road were driving more riskfully. Anyway, so that's where these companies got the okay from the insurance commission to bump up their prices, but now you have Consumer Watchdog, Jimmy Courtney was president of Consumer Watchdog, saying, hey, whoa, the commissioner should not be bringing these hikes when it still hasn't been able to get these companies to give rebates for the times when we were driving. How about all those people who did stay home and were not driving during that same time period? Makes sense. Well, if you've been stockpiling your balloons in Laguna Beach, you're going to want to start using them up. After a second reading, the Laguna Beach has adopted an ordinance that prohibits the sale, the public use, the distribution of balloons. You cannot use them at any city event or on any public property. You cannot release them in the air, and you cannot even dispose of them unless they are contained in a container with a lid. There is a grace period which won't take effect until the beginning of 2024, so you've got the rest of this year to balloon it up down there. And can't even blow up a condom as a joke. It becomes illegal. You know, I don't, this you raised a very interesting legal question. Is that a balloon? Is a condom a balloon if I use it as a balloon? See? That's a cheap legal question. Do they have a case? You thought it was just a joke, the old condom balloon trick. Let's take a break. And we'll contemplate that. Jennifer Jones-Lee live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Well, we're keeping an eye on the storms that are about to hit California, so we do have a blizzard advisory that starts at 4 o'clock on Friday morning in the mountains around Southern California, and it lasts until 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. There's a new bill in Florida that would make it illegal for a dog to sit on a driver's lap or stick its head out the window of a moving vehicle. The state senator says the bill is intended to protect animals. And it's a collaboration that has been in the making for a long time. The Rolling Stones are said to be planning on recording with the two surviving Beatles for a new Stones album. We're going to look at your drive at KFI in the sky in just a moment. Yeah, you hear a lot of commercials here on KFI for personal injury lawyers and every place else too. And let me tell you a little bit about handleonthelaw.com personal injury lawyers. The difference is that I recommend them and I vet them. And if there is a problem, they don't do their job. I call them, and I've made those phone calls before, and it is not a pleasant phone call. So let me recommend if you've been injured in a car accident or a slip and fall, contact the folks at handleonthelaw.com. That's handleonthelaw.com. So, Pat, weather from KFI, as I was mentioning, we've got wild winter weather on the way with temperatures just in the 40s to low to mid-50s for our highs. Today will actually be partly sunny, but chilly outside, and then the rain to stay tomorrow. This report is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. From the Southern California Toyota Dealer Traffic Center, let's go places with Jeff Boss. This is a little heads up for you now on the San Bernardino Freeway, the West End approaching the 605 Walden Park Boulevard. The home is in and out. But there's a little bit of time on the shoulder, so just be careful if you're about to use that off-ramp. It is getting slow. It's morning drive, so it's starting at about 2,000 over towards 605. It's LAX down northbound 405 coming from Long Beach. It's getting slow, 3710 and 110, kind of the normal stuff. It's just a heads up, if you're still roaming eventually to any airport, make sure you call. Weather delays all over the country. I'm pretty curious. 2 days coming up. Be careful. Stay high in the sky. Hope to get you there faster. I'm Jeff Boss. Members, check these features babies at Whole Foods Market. Sustainable wild-caught soy and feedback fillets are 20% off, each over 28. So cross the line for better dinner. While supplies last. Shop in store or online at Turn Supply. This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Trade and Marketing is committed to quality and printing perfect every time. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more. Offer is $2.25. See staples.com/store/trade for details. Try Staples and see the difference. Before I started Rooter Hill Plumbing, I was an angry young man. Hello, I'm Jonah Coyne, founder of Rooter Hill Plumbing. I was angry
14 and he left me alone. I was angry. I realized that my dad didn't leave me alone. Values and principles that continue to shape my life. Dad said be on time. She didn't like it when people were late. He taught me to be polite. It was something I lost, but he captured along the way. And he taught me to keep my promises, because broken promises lead to broken relationships. We keep and keep these values at Rooter Hero Plumbing. I think we have a pretty good company. I know we have great people. And if one of our heroes fails to live up to these values, please call me. My private number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. You can also reach us at rooterhero.com. Thank you.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care No Cost Payment.
Put your mind at ease.
Your coverage for all regularly scheduled service.
Feel the calm within.
From oil and filter changes and tire rotations to fluid inspections and adjustments, tire service, even lockout protection.
Let your cares and worries melt away.
Toyota Care No Cost Maintenance comes standard with every new Toyota.
Your Toyota dealer is here. Toyota, let's go places.
Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 whichever comes first.
Look like a walking
liverwort. Valid only in the continental U.S. Look over here. I admit it, I don't make the best food choices. Most health professionals say you and me, we can get
you're like a billionaire. You look like the guy
well, I started eating health food. Because I'll feel the greens and I've added it to my daily diet. I mix it soup with water, or you could mix it with any beverage you like. Here's where Field of Greens is different from other products. Unlike other supplements, specific fruits and vegetables in Field of Greens was genetically selected to support specific functions, like heart health, liver and kidney function, the immune system, and metabolism. I feel healthier, more energy, my skin is vibrant, but the biggest benefit is the better health promise. Just feel the breeze, and at your next doctor visit, if your doctor doesn't say something like, wow, whatever you're doing, it's working, you keep it up, you can return it for a full refund. And to help you get started, I got you 15% off your first order. Plus, get another 10% off when you subscribe for recurring orders. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code AFI. Contractor license 1047-781. Here are some homeowners today. We fix together. Weather to Rejuvenation, where we help prevent breakdowns by performing 6 critical adjustments for just $129. Another one is here on call unit drains for just $80 with a 30-foot drain snake. And we're on call 24/7, 365 days a year. And our drain cleaning service is just $80. So nice and very fun. Get a cleaner from Gitman and Pump. COECPL.com. We do things the right way, not the easy way. Simply legalizing it doesn't do anything to help them.
Making a crime legal does not eliminate the crime.
These women, many of them trafficked into the positions that they're in right now. I can't imagine that everybody grows up and looks to themselves. I want to be a hooker. Serious. I'm going to be a very low-end hooker on a free and sale. Live 9 to 1 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Bill Handle here, and the morning crew. Very cold Wednesday morning, February 22. And let's finish up that handle on the news. Jennifer Wayne News.
All in favor of a 4-day work week, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, Wayne, hold out. No aye from you?
Clearly thrilled about it.
After the question of a 4-day work week, at least 61 British businesses, ranging from fast food restaurants to marketing agencies, 90% of those said that they would continue testing the shorter week. 18 plan to make it permanent, and a lot of people really like it. And companies say they don't want to stop. A lot of the different in this, and I've read a couple of different studies on this the last couple of days. One was men liked it, and here's what I thought was interesting. They liked it because they actually got to do more things at home like more of the traditional female roles. They spent more time with kids. They did things like that. But that gave them the opportunity to spend more time with their families and get a little more engaged in it. But from the company's perspective, they also found that a lot of times that people thought they only had to go to work 4 days a week to get productivity retired because they thought they were going to get more of a weekend. It was more of an even playing field. You know, the work-play life thing was a little more even.
This is in Britain where it's 1 day paid day off a week. So I'm assuming it's still it's not 40 hours. Yeah, 410. They divide that, and that works because absenteeism is down. Because if you go on a day, you miss a lot more of your work days.
Yeah.
It's
but they say it's 32 hours.
Yeah, seems to me. Okay. We used to love 32 hours. Hey guys, I'd like to call an audible and move ahead to story 15 and continue from there, if that's okay? Absolutely. Here we go. Oh. Starbucks has announced they're going to come out with a series of drinks infused with olive oil because people on TikTok are drinking olive oil purportedly for your health. Where the one pilot has a heart attack. No. That's when you have a heart attack. Heinz, the Heinz company, makers of ketchup and other things, wants to find a man named Francois. What happened is a man named Francois, and the problem is they don't know any more about him. His name's Francois, and he was working on his boat in St. Martin, and the boat started drifting out to sea, and then the weather changed. And anyway, this guy got caught out at sea for 24 days, and then he was rescued. And he said he survived on nothing but some garlic powder, some seasoning, and a bottle of ketchup. So Heinz wants to find the guy and help him buy a new boat. That makes sense. And he's had a ton of free publicity just like you're getting him now. Yeah, who was it? Was it Jason with the Subway sandwiches? What was his name? Right. He lost, 150 pounds of eating Subway sandwiches until he got in that little bit of trouble with young boys. And that sort of turned things around. But why not? Take advantage, and all of a sudden, you're right. Free publicity. How many times have we mentioned Heinz ketchup? Heinz ketchup, Heinz ketchup, Heinz ketchup. Coming up, another big storm, and we still won't be able to capture the water. I'm going to tell you the reason. This is surprising. The answer is easy and surprising, and this is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Whether you love it, hate it, or haven't made up your mind, we're glad you're here.
KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, all time.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Wild winter weather on the way. Woo! I'm Jennifer Jones live from the KFI 24-hour news during cold winter weather has moved into Southern California. KFI's Lake Foley reports live people should expect to see some snowy mountains across the region.
Over the next several days, snow is expected in mountains in LA County, the IE, and even mountains in Orange County, the peaks of the Santa Ana Mountains. Could see up to 1.5 feet of snow. High winds are also expected in those mountain ranges. National Weather Service meteorologist Andrew Rourke says today will be mostly sunny but cold in lower elevations. Our highs only in the lower to mid-50s when you put 20 miles an hour windows out there. It's not going to be a very nice day to be outside. Friday's really forecasters seem to think the region is going to start getting wet. This will mean varying amounts of rain depending on where you are in Southern California. The Grapevine is expected to get several inches of snow, which will make travel hectic. Friday through Saturday, the 14th from Santa Clarita to Palmdale is also anticipated to be affected. Today, I'm told some snow is expected on both of those routes. Reporting live, Blake Foley, KFI News.
Two men accused of killing Bishop David O'Connell in Hacienda Heights this year in court. Carlos Medina was arrested Monday morning. His wife works as O'Connell's housekeeper. Medina is expected to be arraigned this morning, but the charges against him are not yet known. LA Archbishop Jose Gomez says he's still in shock over the shooting death of his friend, Bishop O'Connell.
Gomez spoke fondly of his colleagues. Everything he wants to show compassion to the poor, to the hungry, to the immigrants. He was a good priest and a good teacher, and a man of peace. Gomez was at a press conference Monday alongside LA County Sheriff Lumen, trying very hard to keep his composure. And we are very sad to look. And I'm very grateful to Sheriff Lumen. Investigating things, but that's our work. And one of the bishops tried to finish his comments, emotions took over. Let's just say some gratitude for this selfish, for this professionalism, Anna leaned over, put an arm around Gomez, and whispered. Gomez tried to lighten the mood by saying Bishop O'Connell was the only man he knew who could speak Spanish with an Irish accent. The Gregory TRILLIONAIRE.
The County Sheriff's Special Victims Bureau says it's looking for people who may have been sexually assaulted by a rideshare driver. Investigating on February 14th, they arrested Kyle Cook in connection with the assault of a woman in Malibu. Detectives say because of the nature of the crime and Cook's access to the riders, it's likely there are other women who have been attacked. Investigators say if you or someone you know may have been assaulted in the rideshare, contact the Sheriff's Department. U.S. officials in Russia tested an intercontinental ballistic missile about the time President Biden was in Ukraine. ABC's M. Wayne says they believe the test failed. The missile apparently able to carry 10 warheads and potentially travel farther and faster than old Russian design. Sources say Russia notified the U.S. in advance of the launch. But Putin didn't mention the launch in his speech Tuesday, instead formally declaring that Russia will be temporarily suspending its participation in a new START treaty with the U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said Monday Russia was notified the day before about Biden's visit to Ukraine. Demonstrators have gathered outside President Biden's hotel in Warsaw as he wrapped up his 4-day visit to Poland and Ukraine. They want the U.S. to supply Ukraine with F-16 fighter jets. Biden is meeting today with the leaders of the 9 nations on the most eastern flank of NATO that are concerned Russia could take military action against them if Putin is successful in Ukraine. As we were talking about a dangerous TikTok trend that found its way to Disneyland, the theme park issued a safety warning yesterday for people who don't secure their seatbelts properly on Guardians of the Galaxy mission breakout at Disneyland California Adventure. Disneyland officials say they've had multiple incidents of unsafe behavior. And Six Flags Magic Mountain says it's planning to hire more than 1,500 employees for the spring season. The park is hosting a job event next month, so prospective employees have a chance to speak with park officials. We'll get a look at your drive on the 15 in just a moment, but first it's sports with Wayne. The LA Kings opened a 5-game road trip with a 2-1 loss to the Minnesota Wild. LA is hanging on to second place in the NHL Pacific Division. The Anaheim Ducks have lost 6 in a row. Yesterday scored against the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-1. There's a couple of NBA tidbits to tell. People close to the situation are saying that former Laker Russell Westbrook could make his debut as a Clipper as early as Friday. And the Atlanta Hawks have fired their head coach Nate McMillan with just 23 days left in the season. I'm Wayne Messner, KFI Sports. Unfiltered, chlorinated tap water doesn't cut it. I mean, it's perfectly safe, of course, but it's still tap water. Minerals, chemicals, and it tastes like tap water. So let me suggest the Light Source Whole House Water Filtration System. That system filters water. Boy, does it filter the water. But it does it outside the house. So as the water goes inside, every drop is this highly filtered, delicious, obviously very safe water. Every tap, every faucet produces this water. I mean, you are bathing, cooking, washing dishes, washing your clothes, drinking, of course, in effectively bottled water. And boy, what a cup of coffee it makes, too. And I've had a Light Source system for over 10 years. And one of the beauties of the system is once it's installed, you don't even know you have it because there's no maintenance, no salt, no filters. I mean, one thing, you're done. Call 800-803-2696, free consultation or visit lightsourcewater.com, 800-803-2696, lightsourcewater.com. Taste and feel the difference. Taking a look at your KFI Financial Report. Well, this morning, quite a different look than yesterday. Not up much, but the Dow is up 39. S&P is up 2. NASDAQ is up 11. And the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.74. Just like yesterday. So now weather from KFI. That's the big story today. So we've got wind, rain, and snow in the forecast, possibly as low as 1,000 feet. Just between Friday into Saturday when we could see those low snow levels. Temperatures, though, will just be in the upper 40s to low to mid 50s all the way through Saturday, and overnight lows dropping into the 30s and very low 40s. Right now it is 48 in San Juan Capistrano, 41 in Downey, 46 in West Hollywood. Let's get a look at your drive with DKFI in the sky. We're checking out a closer this time on the 15th. That's all.
And you guys say thanks, Ken. Yeah, indeed, but after all that weather, the sand and some parts of the desert blowing out. This is California and Nevada drought, interstate travel. The I-15 is closed in both directions, shut down in between Nixon Road and the Nevada state line. It's all just blowing sand low visibility. It's a mess up there. Using East 40 up to the North 95 to get up to Henderson. I know it's way out of the way, but that's the deal right now. We'll try and keep you abreast of that situation, see what goes on if you just start now. A winter storm warning's all over the place. Storm pass Ventura County getting hit hard. All the mountain passes, especially the Santa Monica Mountains in between 101 and Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, so just be real careful. Back to the freeways. Northbound, 57 now. This was a little bit north of 91, Cabin, Orange Stuff. Yeah, rating is 2 right lanes, plus he's flowing definitely from 91, but that's you okay. Southbound 1 just road coming down the hill. Hollywood, going to pass an unusual problem. If you're familiar with it, the Highland on-ramp comes into the left lane of the northbound 101. And we're getting word that there's been an accident there, so just watch yourself going through. Southbound Hollywood Freeway was getting busy, that's for sure, from about Sunset down to 4 level. But I think you should be able to stay on time. Stay up high in the sky. Hope to get you there faster. I'm Seth Farm. This hour of the Bill Handle Show brought to you by Jacoby and Life. If you've been hurt in an accident, choose a law firm with the experience to win. Choose Jacoby and Life. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack. See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Tim Cottle of College Chevrolet, Costa Mesa. We're offering President's Day savings almost one on Silverados, Suburbans, Tahoes, and affordable electric Volt EVs at CollegeChevrolet.com. Find your roads at College Chevrolet, the Orange County original since 1964.
Water damage, fire damage, AdverGap.com.
More 2. CO 1028886.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain, like knee pain or shoulder pain in your hip or back?
Hey, Sherry and Shannon, and you don't have to go through another year in pain. Next Generation Pain Management has arrived. Here it is QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Now, regenerative medicine is the all-natural process that uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body, putting them directly into your achy joints and restoring and repairing that damaged tissue.
We're talking lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Pro-athletes have been doing it for years now. You can too.
QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics in America, and now they're here with regenerative solutions that can get you moving.
Local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for a free consultation.
3 locations, Glendale, Mission Viejo, and Orange. Call 213-997-PAIN. QC Kinetics, 213-997-PAIN. That's 213-997-PAIN. Alphabet Boys is a new podcast series that goes inside undercover investigations. In the first season, we're diving into an FBI investigation of the 2020 protest. It involves a cigar-smoking mystery man who drives a silver Hertz. And your child goes like a lot of ghosts. But our federal agents have these bad guys or creative. He was just waiting for them to set the date, the time, and then the series turns to the head. Listen to Alphabet Boys on iHeartRadio app or wherever you get podcasts. They want you to pay this much so you stop using everything. They want to get rid of the natural gas stove. I don't think it's a coincidence. Monthly bills in California are spiking. Don't kid yourself. Just like electricity and gasoline for your car, this is going to continue to trend. John and Ken, you created this mess by putting these people in power. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and the good morning Wednesday, February 22nd. Cold spell coming in big time, to say the least, as we're starting to fire that. Here's a little bit of politics. This whole thing, the January 6th committee and the insurrection, I mean, it's never going to be put to bed. So here is the latest. Speaker Kevin McCarthy has given
It is trove of U.S. Capitol surveillance footage from January 6th, and who to? Exclusively who to? Tucker Carlson of Fox News. And why would he do that? I don't know, but here he has access to speakers, all of the videos that is not in the public. And he gives it to Tucker Carlson, Fox News, who has played down the violence that occurred. He has called it a false flag operation, that it was the government of the United States, the FBI, that actually set up the insurrection. We did it as a false flag operation. And that the insurrectionists are not to blame. So Carlson says we have about 44,000 hours, and you may have read this today. We've been granted access. Our producers been looking at this stuff, trying to figure out what it means, how it contradicts or not the story we've been told for more than 2 years. And we already in some way have evidence that contradicts that story. That story being that the Capitol was overrun by the insurrectionists, that they were innocent. That's the story. It was the FBI that caused them to do this. I don't know how, but somehow started it, that somehow ran it, and those people, the insurrectionists, are all innocent. No one is at fault. Whoa. So Carlson has repeatedly tapped out on the official account. He has repeatedly attacked the January 6th committee, because the committee blamed the people who actually overran the Capitol as who overran the Capitol. And somehow none of that is true. In the meantime, Tucker Carlson on Fox produced a 3-part documentary called Patriot First. And this Patriot First documentary claims that FBI operatives were behind the assault, and it was the FBI. I don't know how the FBI, in fact, was able to convince all those thousands of people to overrun buildings, smash windows, to go in, attack police officers, to scream the 10 Nancy Pelosi, the 10 Mike Pence. I have no idea the FBI could pull that off. But apparently they did. And Tucker Carlson now has the video to prove it. Or so says. 44,000 hours of the video. Why would Kevin McCarthy give Tucker Carlson, and only Tucker Carlson, access to that video? By the way, the Capitol Police are in uproar. They're going crazy. They're saying some of that video shows our security measures where we have our cameras, secret cameras that you can't see, available on that video. And McCarthy, who, as you know, became Speaker by making all kinds of concessions to the far right of the GOP conference, has said that the Republicans, the work of the January 6th committee, those are the people that are at fault. It's that January 6th committee that came out and said that the insurrectionists are at fault, and came out and said President Trump, as a matter of fact, was the instigator. By the way, I have no problem with the argument that President Trump did or did not instigate it. There's plenty of evidence. I happen to think he did, but the position that he didn't is certainly at least plausible. I'll grant you that. But I have to tell you, the argument that it was the FBI who did all this, not just planned it, but in fact did it, and somehow convinced those thousands of the insurrectionists, thousands of, quote, the innocent demonstrators to go ahead and overrun and attack the Capitol. So the other thing McCarthy has vowed is that the Republicans would launch their own inquiry into why the Capitol complex was not secure that day. Fine with that. It was not secure enough. Was there enough intelligence out there? There was plenty. Did the Capitol Police
blow it, you know what? At least you look into it. I don't have a problem with that. And we'll see where the chips fall on that one. But just conflating that with innocent demonstrators who were only there to tell the government or to tell Congress that the election cannot be certified, to make sure that Mike Pence did not certify the election and then put Joe Biden into the presidency. And, of course, my favorite congressperson on the planet, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene out of Georgia, who has become or is a McCarthy ally. He's been a supporter of his from the beginning, and he put her on some very important committees. She has said, and I quote on her tweet, "Get ready for the truth from January 6th because the video tapes are coming. And you will see." And clearly, the implication, not even an implication, her position is, again, she is the most vocal of the fact that it is the government who is our enemy. It is the FBI, it is the CIA, it is those innocent protesters who were really upholding democracy. They were the one that was holding up our constitutional rights. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Wow. And she tweeted, "For all of you that doubted we would release the tape, here we go." I'm very happy again to be right again in my support for Kevin McCarthy. And, quote, "Americans deserve to see the truth, not a one-sided narrative and unfair two-tiered justice system." So we're going to find out the truth. Can't wait for that one. The next documentary from Tucker Carlson, Proof Positive. And here's the video showing, for example, that these people were just tourists. Will you see evidence of, or will you see video of some of those insurrectionists, seditionists breaking the windows? Yeah, you'll see that. Because tourists don't do that. Unless you're going to see FBI in their head and say, "Break that window or I'm going to shoot you." I don't think you're going to see that either. Coming up, Saddleback Church, no longer in the Southern Baptist Convention. I'll explain why. This is KFI, the check-in with Jennifer Jones-Lee, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. California Attorney General Rob Bontes says dozens of people in San Diego County have been arrested for sex trafficking. The undercover investigation targeted areas known for sexual exploitation in San Diego and National City. Officer 40